Hey guys, good morning to all of you. So, today we are going to start our discussion on a very important topic of analysis of financial statement from GST audit point of view. Okay, sir. So, before moving ahead, just one confirmation from your side that the PPT is visible and my voice is audible to you. Everything is okay so that we can start the session. So, just confirm in the chat box that everything is okay, my voice is audible, and the PDF file is visible to you. Okay, so with that, I am going to start the discussion on a very important topic, that is GST audit from mm, financial statement point of view. And this session is completely useful for GST officers. Okay, this is in a practical guide, practical tool for doing the audit in a very concise way, in a very unique way. And I can say in nowadays, in current days, department is coming with the audit perspective, that is a department is doing the GST audit for clients. In that case, to find revenue leakages, to find certain things, one requirement is that you need to analyze the financial statement. When you are going to analyze the financial statement, in that case, just a single second. So when you are going to do the analysis of financial statement, in that case, there is chances that you can find out the revenue leakages in the way, and from that financial statement analysis, you got multiple things. Okay, you got the idea about the nature of the entity, you got the idea about the work, you got the idea about the compliances, you got the idea about the turnover. So sir, in this session we are going to completely discuss on the analysis of financial statement from GST audit point of view. And today I am talking I am a departmental authority, or as I am a departmental authority, so how I need to check each and everything in the financial statement. Sir, my language is okay for you? One participant is saying that voice is not audible. Sir, voice is audible or not audible? Anuradha ji, most probably there is certain technical issue at your end, so please check the same. Uh, as per my thought, my voice is audible. Please confirm others. Okay, 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 okay. So today in this session, um, today in this session, I am going to discuss on the various important aspect from GST audit point of view regarding the financial statement. Sir, chat box is here. If you have any question regarding the any topic, you can comment in the chat box. Okay, sir. I have come up with certain financial statement, and I am going to do the analysis of those financial statement. We are going to discuss on each and every term of that financial statement and certain important parameter for doing the GST audit. Okay, sir. So this material is not provided to you. The reason behind is that I am going to provide the material at the end of the session or post session. Okay. So at the current time, there is no requirement of material at your hand. Okay. So कोई भी मटेरियल की रिक्वायरमेंट यहाँ पर नहीं है. यू जस्ट नीड टू डू द रिलैक्स. आपको रिलैक्स रहना है और रिलैक्स होकर के हम लोग इस सेशन को करने वाले हैं. रिलैक्स होकर के हम इस सेशन को करने वाले हैं, इसीलिए आपको यहाँ पर किसी भी तरह के मटेरियल की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है. यू जस्ट नीड टू कीप वन पेन एंड कॉपी विथ यू, सो दैट if there is any important point, you just need to prepare the notes, so that at the time of audit, at the time of doing the analysis of financial statement, you can use those points, you can use those working at the time of your practical implication. Okay sir, so in this session we are going to use the language, the mode of communication will be Hindi and English both, but more emphasis on English language, and we are also using the Hindi language as well. Okay, so actually certain participants are registering now, so yes sir, now I am going to start the discussion on the points. First we are going to discuss on certain important points, and then we are going to practically check the financial statement and implication of those points on the financial statement. Okay sir, so I know today is Sunday and we need to complete the session on time, so I just want that we are going to complete the session within 2 and 2.5 hours, and we are going to complete each and everything related to analysis of financial statement from GST audit point of view. Okay sir, also we have created what WhatsApp group. If you have any question related to analysis of financial statement, you can raise the questions in that particular chat box, so that I will provide you the reply in the given time. Okay sir, so when you are going to analyze the financial statement, suppose first link is opening, there is no issue with link. I had again share the link so that people can join the same. Okay, so I thought link is opening, there is no issue with link. Most probably issue is at their end, so they can check and they can join. Okay, so now sir, जब भी कोई केस स्क्रूटनी में आता है, जब भी कोई केस डिपार्टमेंटल ऑडिट में आता है, एट दैट टाइम सर्टेन डॉक्यूमेंट्स वी नीड टू रिक्वायर फ्रॉम द पार्टी. ओके, एज अ डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी, फर्स्ट डॉक्यूमेंट which I am going to ask is the financial statement of that entity. Okay, so that I got the idea about the turnover of that particular entity. What is the buying of that particular entity? What is the ratio of gross profit, net profit? Although as a GST authority, there is no responsibility at my hand that I need to do the analysis of net profit and gross profit, but I need to do the analysis of sales and purchase. So for that purpose, the first and foremost document for doing the audit, GST audit, is your financial statement. And by analyzing the financial statement, you can easily find out other points. और उससे आपको ये भी idea लग जाएगा, you got the point that what other documents on which we do the analysis, what other documents we require to analyze the financial statement. So first document for doing the audit is your financial statement. Today, as a I am chartered accountant, but today I am not acting as a chartered accountant. In this session, I am completing acting as a departmental authority, and from that point of view, I am share certain important things to all of you. Okay, sir. So in between the session, if any issue, if any question, you are free to raise the questions, but there is no requirement of any notes. Feel free, relax होकर के आपको केवल सुनना है. If you found any important issue, you just need to write out the same in your notebook, so that it will be the part of your working. Sir, first of all, जैसे ही when you are going to demand the financial statement and the assessee has provided you the financial statement, at that time, what is the first thing on which we need to do the analysis, or by how we are going to start the analysis? So when we are going to take the any authority, any assessee for audit, in that case, first we are going to do the analysis of the nature of the business entity, कि वो किस बिजनेस में है. ही इज इन बैंकिंग बिजनेस, स्टील मैन्युफैक्चरिंग है, कंस्ट्रक्शन सर्विसेज है, बैंकिंग सर्विसेज है, या फिर टेक्सटाइल मैन्युफैक्चरर्स है, या फिर ट्रेडर्स है. व्हाट इज द नेचर ऑफ द बिजनेस? ओके, after that, we are going to demand certain documents for smoothly carrying out the audit. Okay. There is also a timeline prescribed by the government that we need to complete the audit within 3 months from the date of commencement of the audit. Okay. So in that case, we have limited time and we need to do the audit in a very smooth way, in a very specific way. And if we are going to do the audit in a smart way, in that case, this is my assurance to you, you can do the audit easily, you can find out the leakages very easily, and you can do the audit on time. Okay, so first thing on which we need to do the work is past trends analysis of the sales and purchase. Sir, certain points are very common, You all are dealing with all those points, so I'm not going to take much more time on those points. I am going to discuss on various specific points and I am giving more time to the specific points. Okay. Although we are going to discuss each and every point regarding financial statement. Sir, first point. When you got the financial statement, this is your first responsibility to check the past trends analysis of sales and purchase. Suppose last year the sales was 5 cr 5 crore rupees, and in current financial year there is a sales of just 2 crore rupees. I cannot say कि ये कोई fraud है या फिर sales reduce नहीं हो सकती है, but just this is also a point of analysis. We need to analyze why there is a reduction in sales. If there is any genuine situation, in that case we can agree with that. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं हुआ है कि वो कोई विदाउट इनवॉइसिंग की सेल के अंदर चला गया है, इसलिए 5 cr लास्ट ईयर इन करंट ईयर देयर इज अ सेल्स ऑफ ओनली 2 crore rupees. लास्ट ईयर रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ लोन, how you are going to link? Suppose last year the entity has taken the loan. In that case, you need to go to the balance sheet of the financial statement. Sir, you got the point how you are going to link the sales of that particular entity with the balance sheet part. Suppose during financial year 1920, the sales was 5 cr. During financial year 21-22, the sales is just 2 cr. At that time, first thing on which you need to do the work is that check the balance sheet of the particular entity. कहीं उसने financial year 1920 में कोई सीसी, कोई ओडी तो बैंक से नहीं ली थी, और for taking that CC and OD he is going to grow up the sales. कहीं उसने उसकी sales को ज्यादा तो show नहीं कर दिया था for taking the CC, for taking the OD, and now the purpose is fulfilled, so the sales is reduced by that particular entity and he is doing the sales without invoicing. So we can confirm the things from the balance sheet part, also from the CC and OD, from the sanction date. That is what is the technique on which we need to do the work, how we are going to do the analysis of the sales and purchase. Okay, now suppose financial 1920 sales was around 5 cr rupees, and financial year 21-22 sales is goes up to 15 20 25 cr rupees. Okay, in that case we need to check this situation also, why there is a increment, huge increment in the sales of that particular entity. Suppose if there is reduction in the purchase of that particular entity, in that case we need to check कहीं वो entity fake invoicing में तो deal नहीं कर रहा है. Sir, OD means overdraft facility and CC means cash credit facility. For taking the overdraft facility and cash credit facility is given by the particular banking industry by taking your stock and debtors. Okay. And also they are going to analyze your sales trends. Okay. So for taking a higher amount or for taking the CC or OD, कहीं उसने ऐसा तो नहीं कर दिया है कि उसकी sales को वहां पे increase कर दिया है. So we can check these things from the sales and purchase analysis and we got the idea. हमारा ये पर्पज नहीं है कि उसने लोन क्यों ले लिया है, लोन एक्सेस ले लिया है, लोन कम ले लिया. Our purpose is to analyze that there is no any fake sales or there is no any fake. This is a one way from which we can analyze the sales and purchase of that particular entity, the trends of sales and purchase. Sir, you got the point regarding trends of sales and purchase, reduction or increment in sales and purchase. In that case, this is a significant issue for us and we are going to do the analysis in a prescribed way. Sir, you got the point? सर बीच बीच में आप लोगों को मुझे रिप्लाई देना पड़ेगा कि एवरीथिंग इज ओके फॉर यू एंड यू आर गेटिंग द पॉइंट. मुझे ऐसा फील नहीं होना चाहिए कि आई एम इन फ्रंट ऑफ कैमरा एंड मैं बोले जा रहा हूँ और मेरे फ्रंट में कोई भी नहीं है. सो चैट बॉक्स इज देयर and the reason of the chat box is that I got the reply from your side that each and everything is okay for you. Next, sir, you got the analysis of the sales and purchase, the past trends. If there is any gradual increase or gradual decrease, in that case there is no issue with that. But if there is any huge increase and huge decrease, in that case this is a significant issue and we are going to analyze the reason for the huge increase and huge decrease. I cannot say कि यहाँ पर fraud ही है, but we need to check the things. Next point, sir, you had done the analysis of trends of the sales and purchase. Now this is your responsibility to reconcile the sales, the book sales with the financial with the GSTR 3B sales. Suppose Sir, in that particular financial statement you got the sales, suppose 5 cr rupees. Okay, in that case you need to reconcile that particular sales with the sales of GSTR 3B return and GSTR 1 return. Okay sir. So if there is no difference, in that case there is no issue, you can go ahead. But if there is any issue with that, if there is issue with that, just a single second. If there is any issue with that, in that case you need to demand the reconciliation from the counterparty. Okay sir, in that case you need to demand for the reconciliation from the counterparty. यहाँ पर हमको काउंटर पार्टी से रिकंसिलेशन लेना पड़ेगा। और यू कैन डू वन थिंग, यू कैन डिमांड द रिकंसिलेशन फ्रॉम द काउंटर पार्टी। जब आप उसको बोलते हो ना कि भैया यू नीड टू कैरी दीज पर्टिकुलर डॉक्यूमेंट्स, एट दैट टाइम यू जस्ट नीड टू से टू दैट पर्टिकुलर असेसी, सर यू नीड टू कैरी द रिकंसिलेशन ऑफ योर ऑडिटेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट सेल्स विथ योर जीएसटीआर 3B sales and with your GSTR 1 sales, and if there is any difference then please provide the reconciliation when you had done the rectification in the next financial year, or you had done the rectification in the GSTR 9 or 9C. In that case carry the copy of GSTR 9 and 9C highlighted matter. जब आप इसको ये इनिशियली बोल दोगे अपने क्लाइंट को, असेसी को, इन दैट केस उस असेसी को भी कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी। अपने को दोनों पॉइंट से सोचना है। वी नीड टू डू द ऑडिट इन अ वेरी स्मूथ वे। ओके, असेसी भी हरेस नहीं हो, और वी नीड टू डू द ऑडिट एज पर अवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। इन दैट केस वी कैन डिमांड द रिकंसिलिएशन ऑल्सो। ओके, सो फर्स्ट वी हैड डन द ट्रेंड्स एनालिसिस, सेकंड वी हैड डन द सेल्स रिकंसिलिएशन विद द सेल्स रिपोर्टेड इन जीएसटीआर 1, जीएसटीआर 3B, एंड ऑल्सो द रिकंसिलिएशन विद द जीएसटीआर 9 एंड 9C। ओके, अभी मैंने ये बात नहीं की है कि सेल्स के साथ में सपोज कुछ अदर इनकम हो, इंसेंटिव हो, डिस्काउंट रिसीव्ड हो, इंटरेस्ट रिसीव्ड हो, व्हाट वी नीड टू डू दिस for this. I had not talked on that. I just do the reconciliation for the sales. Okay, if there is other item is available, then also we need to reconcile the same, because suppose if there is incentive is also available for 50,000 rupees, in that case he had paid the tax on GSTR 3B on that incentive, we need to check the same or not। बिकॉज मैक्सिमम टाइम क्या होता है, वी आर गोइंग टू डू वन थिंग दैट, हम लोग क्या करते हैं फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में मर्ज करके कुछ चीजें शो कर देते हैं। ओके, सपोज डिस्काउंट रिसीव्ड इज 50,000 रुपीज, डिस्काउंट गिवन is 70,000 rupees. In that case, what we are doing? We are doing to book the expenditure as 20,000 rupees on account of discount. Now you cannot find out the discount received and discount paid, and on that discount received GST and paid or not. How we can check the same? For that purpose, we need to demand the ledgers. We need to demand the ledgers. I am also going to discuss on that. I just take that term because we are going to reconcile the sales with the GSTR 1 and 3B, and if there is any other income in the income side of that profit and loss account and trading account, in that case we need to consider the same for reconciling the sales from GSTR 1 and 3B. Okay, suppose there is bank interest, in that case there is no GST on that bank interest, so in that case you need to exclude the things. Okay, you need to prepare the reconciliation just like that. Sales as per financial statement, suppose this is the sales as per 3B, in which the party has paid the tax. Now there is difference. If suppose there is difference of 1 lakh rupees, you had excess paid the tax in GST or 3B written in excess of 1 lakh rupees. In that case 50,000 is due to incentive, or there is also enough freight income is booked in that particular case around 1 lakh rupees. In that case there is difference of 50,000 in negative, that means the assessee is less paid tax with 50,000 rupees. In that case we need to raise the query from the assessee that why you had paid, why there is a difference of your financial statement sales or income on which you need to pay the GST with comparison to your GST payable or GST paid in your GSTR 3B return, so that we got the reply from the party. So, sir, these type of tasks we need to do for certain findings. Next point, sir, prepare the rate wise purchase summary and reconcile with input claimed. That means whatever will be the accounting software used by the assessee, you need to demand the rate wise purchase summary. Okay, suppose he has given the rate wise purchase summary generated from the software in PDF file. In that case, from that rate wise purchase summary, you just need to total the purchase and compare the purchase which is mentioned in that rate wise purchase summary with the purchases which is mentioned in the financial statement under trading account under purchases tab. If both are reconciled, in that case, you need to compare that input tax credit with the input tax credit claimed in the GSTR 3B return. Okay, first we need to check that the financial statement purchase and purchases as per the sheet generated from the software in matched or not matched. If both are matched, in that case we are going to reconcile the same from the GSTR 3B return. You got the point, sir? In that particular case, what you need to do, your purchases from your financial statement or purchases from sheet generated from the software, that is rate wise seized. First we compare this purchases. If there is no difference, in that case we are going to take that rate wise sheet, and rate wise sheet ke andar we have the figure of CGST, SGST and IGST. In that case we are going to compare these CGST, SGST, IGST figure with the figure of CGST, IGST of GSTR 3B return. In that case, if there is no difference, everything is okay. And if you found the difference, in that case this is also an audit para. You need to raise the query on that particular point, that why there is difference between the books input tax credit and the input tax credit which you had claimed in your GSTR 3B return. Okay sir, so that is what is the technique from which we need to do the work. Okay sir, so अभी मैंने ये तो बात की नहीं कि we need to reconcile from GSTR 2A and 2B and all that. We first need to do the analysis that the sales as per the books and as per the financial statement is matching or not, and the trick is there, so that we can compare the same with GSTR 3B. And if there is no difference in between the sales of GSTR 3B and sales of books of accounts, in that case we are going to reconcile the sales of GSTR 3B with GSTR 2A return. सर आपको सब समझ आ रहा है ना? यू आर गेटिंग माय पॉइंट्स? वेरी इजी, वेरी बेसिक पॉइंट्स, बट यू आर गेटिंग द पॉइंट्स. So first we had done the trades analysis, second we had done the reconciliation of sales with the book sales, and third we had done the purchase and purchase rate wise and the financial statement purchases with GSTR 3B. Okay sir, now next point is that analyze the ratio of sales and purchase. Sir, कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है कि द कंपनी द पर्टिकुलर एंटिटी इज गोइंग टू परचेज फॉर 50 करोड़ रुपीस एंड ही इज सेलिंग जस्ट फॉर 35 करोड़ रुपीस एंड क्लोजिंग स्टॉक इज आल्सो वेरी. In that case we need to check the ratio. For that we need to check the margin also. Okay, sir, how we are going to check? Suppose there is a sales of 50 crore, purchase is of suppose 35 crore, opening stock is of 10 crore, and closing stock is of 15 crore, or I can say 5 crore. In that case certain other expenditure are also there, hence there is a sales of 50 cr rupees, because opening plus purchase को अगर मैं add भी कर दूं, there is total purchases of 45. Okay, and there is sales of 50 and GP is also good in that particular case. In that case we need to check the ratio of sales and purchase, and we need to check the input tax credit which is available in the electronic credit ledger of that particular assessee, सो दैट वी कैन फाइंड आउट दैट कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं हो रहा है कि सेल्स और परचेज के रेशियो से ज्यादा ही वहां पर इनपुट टैक्स रेट आ रही है. दैट मींस यहाँ पर कुछ बाउंस सेल्स तो नहीं की गई है, कहीं सेल्स जिस फिगर पे होनी चाहिए उससे ज्यादा फिगर पे तो यहाँ पर रिपोर्ट नहीं की. एसएससी हैज नॉट रिपोर्टेड द सेल्स overside. We need to check the same, because if he has mentioned the sales in excess of the normal value, in that case anti-profiteering rules are there. Okay, so we need to take care of it. So we need to check the ratio of sales and purchases also with the gross profit. ओके सर, कि भैया उसकी सेल्स कितनी है, उसकी परचेजेस कितनी है, उसका ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट कितना है, उसका क्लोजिंग स्टॉक कितना है, उसका ओपनिंग स्टॉक कितना है. वी आर गोइंग टू टेक द particular financial statement also. At that time we are also going to discuss on that practically, but you just need to take up in your mind that we need to do the analysis of ratio of sales and purchase also. Okay sir, these all points are related or relevant in case of your fake invoicing. From by analyzing these type of things, you can easily identify the fake invoicing. Okay, sir, or paper transaction you can easily identify. Next, check the inter-branch transactions. Suppose my head office is in Rajasthan and my branch office is in Gujarat, and I am going to sell or I am going to transfer the product from my Rajasthan head office to my branch which is situated in Gujarat. In that case, sir, I need to charge GST because I am doing these activity as a distinct person. So we need to check that कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं हुआ है कि जो प्रोडक्ट 10,000 रुपीज का है, I am going to supply that particular product to my branch office for 9,000 only, because I have less amount of input tax credit, so I had decided the less price, and accordingly there is an excess balance at the end of my branch, so branch is going to sell that particular product at a higher value. Okay, so that this is to be treated as your this transaction should be treated as your दिस ट्रांजेक्शन शुड बी ट्रीटेड एज योर मैनिपुलेशन. ओके, मेरे पास में इनपुट का बैलेंस कम है, इसलिए मैंने प्राइस रिड्यूस करके मेरी ब्रांच को ट्रांसफर कर दिया और ब्रांच इज गोइंग टू सेल दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट एट अ हायर प्राइस, और वहां पर उसके पास में इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट का बैलेंस है. थिंक रिवर्स. I have an excess amount of input tax credit, so I am going to sell at a higher price that particular product to my branch office, and branch has a less amount of input tax credit. So by transferring that particular product at a higher price, I am going to transfer the input tax credit to my branch. That is also considered as the manipulation. So we need to be very much careful in the cases of branch transfer or stock transfer. If there is a branch transfer from any branch to another branch or a head office to the branch office, in that case we need to check that the particular supply, whatever will be the supply is to be valued as per valuation rule 28 of CGST rules. We need to check the same as per the valuation rule number 28 of CGST rule in case of our related person and distinct person. Okay sir, open market value, fair value, like kind, like quantity, or if we are not going to decide the value as per these terms, in that case we need to decide the value as per the rule number 30, that is post ka 110% minimum valuation should be on that particular value. So we need to do the analysis of valuation also in that particular case, and this type of trick will help you a lot, and you will find out a huge amount of revenue leakage if there. Okay sir, so you need to be very much careful in case of your inter branch activities. If there is any transaction by the head office with that branch office or branches with another branches, in that case we need to check the valuation, that valuation is perfect or not. So that particular transaction we are getting from our that particular transaction that particular transaction we are getting from, just a single second. So that particular transactions we are getting from the financial statement. When you are going to analyze the sales, in that case you need to demand the headwise sales from that particular party. Headwise sales, sir, you need to demand the headwise sales from that particular party. When you are demanding the headwise sales, also you need to demand the same from the software generated headwise sales. When you are getting the Excel sheet, in that case you need to demand the PDF file also and compare the sales from that PDF file with that Excel sheet, because manipulation is also possible. If there is any issue with the valuation, in that case what they are going to do, वो क्या करेंगे, उस हेड को ही इंटर ब्रांच को हटा देंगे और जर्नल सेल्स दिखा करके आपको एक्सेल सीट पकड़ा देंगे. सो इन दैट केस यू नीड टू बी वेरी मच केयरफुल फॉर दैट there is a statement regarding the sales as per the head wise bifurcation, so that you can easily got the point that what is the sales which is related to inter branch transfer, what is the sales which is to common public, journal public. That is what is the trick on which we need to do the work. Sir, you got the point in case of inter-branch transactions. So you need to be very much careful from valuation point of view. You found the revenue leakages on the account of your revenue leakages on the account of your valuation point of view. Sir, we had covered around 5 points, 5 important points from analysis of financial statement. Each and everything is okay for you. Just comment in the chat box. So, I am going to take the next point, and that is check the expenditure for RCM liability. Sir, when you are going to check the financial statement, still we had covered regarding the points of your income side. Now you need to do more emphasis on your expenditure side also. Okay, when you are going to check the expenditure side, in that case you need to check that कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है कि कोई expenditure on which RCM is liable or the RCM is paid by that particular entity or not. Okay, for that purpose you need to do the idea that what type of activities, what type of services on which RCM is to be applicable. Suppose when you are going to do the analysis of financial statement, and in that profit and loss account you found an entry in your expenditure side, that is legal expenditure. Sir, on legal expenditure, RCM will be applicable. RCM will be applicable. So you need to check that assessee or the taxpayer has paid the taxes under reverse charge mechanism on that legal expenditure or not. Many time क्या होता है सर, many time क्या होता है, suppose if I had not paid the reverse charge mechanism on that legal expenditure, in that case I am going to change the head. Okay, I am going to remove that legal expenditure. I am going to use the word accounting expenditure. Okay, or we are going to use the professional fees head. Okay, although I am not doing these type of activities. Okay, जो legal expenditure है वो legal expenditure ही रहेगा और party has to pay the taxes. But I just need to share certain chances of manipulation, that how you can do the audit, how you can check the compliances, how you can find out the revenue leakages with effective manner. Okay, so when you are going to check that there is any accounting charges or professional fees expenditure, in that case you need to demand the ledger. Or when you are going to demand the ledger, at that time you just need to check the payment to whom, वो किसको पेमेंट हुआ है, पेमेंट मेड टू एडवोकेट सचिन जैन. In that case, this is a clear cut indication that the fees is on account of the advocacy or the legal services, so RCM should be paid on that. Okay, that type of exercise you need to do. Okay, suppose you are going to do the audit of any film city and all that, and there is any there is any music composer is also there. In that case music composing की services होती है where RCM will be applicable. So if there is any type of expenditure booked, in that case we need to check that the RCM is paid by that particular entity or not. Okay sir, suppose director has provided any services to the company, director has provided any services to the company, in that case we need to check that RCM is paid by that particular company or not on the services which is provided by the director to the company. We need to check the same also. Okay sir, so from expenditure side, if I am talking from expenditure side, then one important point is that we need to do the analysis of this expenditure side from RCM point of view also. We need to check that there is no any type of term is available on which reverse charge is applicable and assessee has not paid the tax under reverse charge. In that particular case we need to check the same. Okay sir, so this is also a trick from which we can check multiple things. Next, check the nature of direct and indirect income. Sir, expenditure side हो गई. When I am going to check the financial statement, when I am going to check the financial statement, this is called as my expenditure side, this is called as my income side. Suppose sales is my income. Also other income is also there, other revenue is also there, incentive is also there, discount is also there, interest is also there. These type of other terms are also there. In that case, I need to check that all these terms are liable for GST or not. Suppose clear cut ही लिख देता हूं, on income side suppose sales is there, okay, other income is there, incentive is there, discount is there, interest is there. Okay, these types of terms are there. You need to check that GST has paid on that sales. Suppose only other income is there. In that case, you need to check the nature of that particular other income from the ledger. Okay, you need to check the same from the annexures provided by the financial statement. When you are going to demand the financial statement at that time, this is your responsibility. Demand the financial statement annexure wise. Okay, said to the particular party or particular client that sir, when you are coming with the financial statement at that time, you just need to provide us the complete annexure wise financial statement. Merely financial statement if you are going to provide, we are not doing the audit. Okay, so we need to check the same. Next, incentive. Suppose if there is any incentive, in that case you need to check that the GST is paid on that particular incentive or not. Discount, if there is any discount, in that case we need to check that the on that particular discount received, GST adjustment has already done or not. Okay, now sir, in case of interest, party will argue that sir, this interest is on account of my financial interest, okay, on account of loan. In that case there is no GST applicable. But you need to check कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं हुआ है किसी पार्टी को उस बंदे ने कोई माल भेजा, मतलब that means your taxpayer has sended or sell a particular product to the buyers, and buyer had not made the payment on time, and due to late payment your party is collecting interest from that. In that case the interest should be treated as your trade interest, and there is applicability of GST on trade interest. So you need to classify the interest as a financial interest or as a trade interest. There is no GST in case of financial statement, and there is applicability of GST in case of your trade interest. Okay, so you need to analyze the same. If he is going to claim the interest, he is going to get the interest from the debtors. In that case, GST should be payable. Okay, or if the interest is getting from any loan party, loan related party or unsecured loan related party, in that case there is no GST will be applicable on that particular type of interest. So we need to analyze the same. Sir, one more request is to you that if you have any specific income, okay, in that case you just need to name that income, that particular income in the chat box. I am going to discuss on that income part also. Okay sir, although we have certain financial statements and we are going to do the analysis of those financial statement also from GST audit perspective, so that you got the idea about the practical implication of these things. Okay, now next, check input closing balance of balance sheet with the GST portal. This is a very important task and we need to perform the task. Okay, I know वहां पर डिफरेंस होगा, कोई इश्यू नहीं है, डिफरेंस है इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि फ्रॉड है. We need to maintain the reconciliation of that differences. We need to demand the reconciliation of the differences. Suppose sir, the closing balance as per GST portal and closing balance as per books of account, you need to check the differences in both the things. And if you found any differences in between the closing balance of input tax credit on GSTN portal and books of accounts, in that case you need to demand for the reconciliation. And if there is no any difference, in that case आप 50% तो ये रिलैक्स हो जाओ कि उसकी इनपुट ओके है, उसकी आउटपुट ओके है, उसकी आरसीएम लायबिलिटी ओके है. किसी पे उसने पे नहीं किया वो एक अलग पॉइंट है, बट उसकी इनपुट एंड आउटपुट इज ओके इफ देयर इज नो डिफरेंस बिटवीन द क्लोजिंग बैलेंस ऑफ इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट ऑन जीएसटीएन पोर्टल एंड ऑन द बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स. Okay, and if you found any differences, in that case you need to demand the reconciliation. I am not saying that this is any type of fraud or there is any type of leakages. Okay, You need to check the reconciliation. Suppose there is a difference due to refund, there is non-passing of certain entries, there is certain blocked credit and all that. In that case, you just need to take the reconciliation. That will be more convenient for you and the taxpayer also. And in future, this is also a part of your working for pursuing that particular audit, and this is also a good thing for that taxpayer. If there is any differences, in that case, from onwards after audit, he is going to maintain the things. Okay, sir. So we need to check it also very carefully, the differences between the closing balance of input tax credit and the closing balances on GSTN portal. So next, you need to check the fixed assets chart. Suppose there is any buying of any fixed assets. Okay, when you are going to check the financial statement, sir, closing balance on GSTN portal, when you are going to the GSTN portal, as a departmental authority, you have the facility to view the complete portal of that particular assessee. In that case, you just need to go to the ledgers. Ledgers mein, you need to go to the credit ledger. When you are going to the ledger, and in that particular case you need to take the credit ledger. In that case, suppose you are going to do the audit of financial year 1920, in that case you need to mention the timeline as 31st March 2022, 2022, 30th 31st 5 लिख लो, चलो 31st 5 2022. In that case, the closing balance as on 31st March 2020 you will get, and from that closing balance you need to compare the closing balance which is mentioned in the balance sheet of that particular assessee, so that it will be more convenient for you. Sir, you got that point regarding comparison of closing balance of input tax credit, and this is also a most useful tool for us. Now, sir, analysis of fixed assets chart. Ujjwala ji, you got my point? Now, analysis of fixed assets chart. When you are going to check the fixed assets chart in the balance sheet, or with 3CA, 3CB, 3CD, or with the books of accounts, or with the accounting software, in that case, there is opening balance, addition, sales, closing balance. Okay, this type of situation is there. In that particular case, what you need to do, opening balance is there, addition is there, and sales is there, and closing balance is there. If there is any type of addition, in that case you need to check. Suppose the assessee has bought certain air conditioners, गर्मी आ रही है तो उसने कोई AC buy किया. In that case you need to check that जो उसने tax credit claim किया है, input tax credit ITC, in that case he has not taken the depreciation on that ITC part. Suppose the taxable value of that air condition is 40,000 rupees, and the GST on that particular air condition is 8,000 rupees, and total value is 48,000 rupees. In that case, you need to check from the financial statement that the taxpayer has claimed depreciation on 40,000 only, not on the complete 48,000, if he has claimed the input tax credit. Okay, sir. So I thought this is a very basic thing, and we need to check the same. Although taxpayers are not doing any type of mistake in that particular thing, they are going to claim the depreciation on the taxable value only, and they are claiming the GST separately. But as an auditor point of view, this is our responsibility. We need to check the things that he had claimed the depreciation on the taxable value part only, if he has claimed the input tax credit. If there is any sales in the fixed assets, in that case we need to check that GST is paid on that particular sale or not. Okay, so we need to check the same. When you are going to analyze the fixed assets chart, there is one column also available regarding sales. In that case, we need to check if there is anything in that particular sales. In that case, we need to check that GST has paid on that particular sales or not. Okay, suppose there is a sales of plant, and there is a sales of any car. Okay, So in that case, we need to check that GST is paid on that particular type of supply of car, sales of car. Suppose in that case, what will be the rule for paying the GST? So in case of car selling, suppose in maximum cases you found this type of term. So I'm going to discuss on that. In case of car, suppose you had sale that car for 5 lakh rupees and the WDV of that car is 4 lakh rupees. In that case, margin will be 1 lakh rupees and you need to pay GST on that 1 lakh rupees at the rate of 18%. Take another situation. If the WDV of that car is 5 lakh rupees and you had sell the car for 4 lakh rupees, in that case margin is in negative. In that case there is no GST will be payable in that particular case. So we need to be very much careful. If there is any sales of any fixed assets part, in that case we need to check that correct GST is paid by that particular entity or not. How we can do the analysis of financial statement? Sir, next we need to analyze the reversal as per rule number 42 and 43. सर, जब हम लोगों ने सेशन स्टार्ट किया था, at that time we had discussed that first I am going to check the nature of that particular entity, that what is the nature of that particular entity and what type of business in which the entity is involved. Suppose the entity is involved in exempted as well as taxable supply. In that case, we need to check that the reversal as per rule number 42 and 43 is done or not. CGST rules, rule number 42. And we need to calculate that monthly reversal, and after that we need to calculate the annual reversal, and we need to compare the same, that the same reversal is found in the books of accounts and on GSTN portal. And if there is any difference, in that case we need to report the same. If there is less reversal, in that case we need to add the same in audit para, and we need to raise a demand on account of that. Okay, so this is our responsibility as a departmental authority to check the reversal on account of 42 and 43. Rule number 42 is related to your input service, input and input service, and rule number 43 is related to your capital goods. Okay, sir, how you can do the calculation of that reversal, that is reversal number 42 and 43. So इससे related video will be available on my YouTube channel. इससे related calculation is also available on my YouTube channel. You just need to go and search for that. You will find out the reversal related video. You can check the same. Here we are going to discuss on the analysis of financial statement, and from that point of view I just want to share that you need to check that there is a reversal of rule number reversal of input tax rate on account of rule number 42 and 43 as per the rules given. Okay, as per the method given in the rules. So we need to check the same. Sir, suppose taxpayer had bought any type of capital goods in that particular financial year. Suppose you are going to do the audit for financial year 1920, or in that particular financial year the taxpayer has bought a plant and machinery for 5 lakh rupees, and suppose GST on that particular plant and machinery is 50,000 rupees, total 5 lakh 50,000 rupees. You need to check that the taxpayer is claimed 100% of input tax credit in one shot. Suppose the taxpayer is completely dealing in the taxable supply. In that case, there is no issue with that. Taxpayer can claim 50,000 in one shot. Okay, there is no issue with that. But suppose there is also an exempt supply and taxable supply as well. In that case, we need to check that one shot में उसने एक बार input तो claim कर ली है, but क्या वो month wise वापस 5% पर quarter और part of the quarter reversal कर रहा है या फिर नहीं कर रहा है, और जो total input tax credit divided by 60 करके वो reversal कर रहा है या फिर नहीं कर रहा है. In case of buying of capital goods, we need to check these things. So when you are going to check the financial statement or fixed assets chart, if there is any addition, first point you need to check that he has not claimed the depreciation on that input tax credit part, or the input tax credit which he is going to claim. In that case, we need to check that if he is completely involved in the taxable supply, in that case there is no issue, he can claim the input tax credit in one shot. But if there is a taxable as well as exempted supply. In that case, we need to check that he has claimed the input tax rate in one shot is okay, but again month wise reversal is there. Okay, 5% per quarter or part of the quarter, we need to check the same as per rule number 42 and 43. For more analysis, you can go to the video for rule number 42 and 43. But from financial statement analysis point of view, I can say you just need to check the fixed assets chart, and from that fixed assets chart, if you found any buying and selling, in that case, this is an indication and you need to check that the GST is paid or not. Okay, sir. Now, sir, creditors, creditors within 180 days. So you need to take the age-wise creditors list from the particular party. Okay. So you need to demand age-wise creditors list. Age-wise creditors list from that particular entity. That sir, please provide us the age-wise creditors list. Okay. And also खाली उसने जो list provide की है, we are not going to believe on that. You just need to take the ledgers of the all the creditors and you need to analyze the creditors ledger. And if you found any payment after 180 days, in that case there is a provision of input tax credit reversal, so you can raise the demand on account of that, and reversal will be with the interest. Okay, so creditor analysis is specifically from the point that there is a reversal within there is a payment to the buyer within 180 days or not, and if there is no payment to supplier within 180 days, in that case input tax credit should be reversed. How you are going to check? So you need to demand the age wise creditors list and you are going to compare the same with the creditors ledger. Okay, you need to check the creditors ledger and party wise creditors ledger से आपको ये एनालिसिस करना है कि विद इन 180 days पेमेंट हुआ है या फिर नहीं हुआ है, and if the taxpayer is not going to make the payment within 180 days, in that case you can raise the demand on account of the interest and input tax credit reversal. Okay sir. Now next point, check the books purchase register with GSTR 2A and 2B. Sir, अभी हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया था, वी हैड ऑलरेडी डिस्कस दैट वी आर गोइंग टू डिमांड द rate wise purchase sheet. Okay, and if there is no difference between the purchases as per the financial statement and aid as per the rate wise purchase sheet, in that case we need to take the purchase register of that particular entity, and from that purchase register we need to reconcile the GSTR 2A and 2B. And if you found any differences, suppose any invoice is not available in 2A and 2B and the taxpayer has claimed the tax credit, in that case, if the case is related till the financial year 21-22, in that case there was capping provision around 20%, 10% and 5%. Okay, so you need to check the same, and if there is difference in excess of that capping provision, in that case you can raise the demand on account of differences between the GSTR 3B, GSTR 2 and 2B. Although there are multiple judgments available in which Gujarat High Court has said that if there is any difference between GSTR 2A, 2A and books of accounts till financial year 1920, in that case you can take the physical copy of invoices and with that you can analyze the things, and if there is no fake invoicing, in that case input tax credit is allowed. So that is what is the decision which is pronounced by the Gujarat High Court. But for just checking purposes, we need to compare the purchase register with the GSTR 2A return for the checking that there is a proper reconciliation and no input tax rate which is not available in the GSTR 2A. And if the taxpayer has claimed the input tax rate on that account, in that case, we need to check the things. Okay, sir. So that is what is the scenario on which we need to check. Next, sir, related party transaction. Sir, when you are going to check the 3CD of that particular entity, okay, one clause is there in that form 3CD itself related to transactions with the related party. In our today's session, we are also going to discuss on certain important points of form 3CD from GST audit point of view. At that time, we are also going to discuss on related party transactions. Okay. जब ये सेशन शेड्यूल कर रहे थे तो मेरे को ये कुछ रिक्वेस्ट आई कि सर यू नीड टू कवर द 3CD एनालिसिस आल्सो. So sir, we are going to cover the same, but for your information, there is nothing important in that 3CD form from GST audit point of view. Yes, certain points are there on which we need to do the work. Okay, certain important points are there, we need to check the same. All other points are not relevant for us, okay, from GST audit point of view. So I am going to share you the idea about the 3CD form also in this session itself. Okay sir. So We need to check the 3CD form, and one tab is there related to transactions with the related party. And if there is any transaction related to purchase and sales with the related party, in that case, we got that idea from that 3CD form that who is the related party of that particular entity. हो सकता है एट द टाइम ऑफ जीएसटी ऑडिट डायरेक्टली हमको नहीं पता हो कि उसकी कौन सी एंटिटी है जो उसकी डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड पार्टी है. So by analyzing the form GSTR 3, by analyzing the form 3CD, we can easily analyze that who is the related party of that particular entity, and if there is any transaction with the related party regarding interest, regarding sales, regarding purchase, in that case we need to check the same. Sir, उसमें हम क्या चेक करेंगे? What we need to check in case of related party? Sir, first you need to check the valuation, that the reporting of the value of sale is correct as per the valuation rule. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है for manipulation purposes, for just transferring the input tax credit, sales higher value से report कर रखी हो, और कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है there is just only the paper invoicing or fake transactions. So we need to analyze the related party transaction from that particular point of view. Okay, you need to check the valuation and you need to check the fake invoicing. These 2 points are very much relevant from related party transactions. Sir, 15 points we had covered. I just want to ask with all of you that all these 15 points are okay in your mind or not. Just comment in the chat box. Sir, I am waiting for your reply. Everything is okay for you? Okay, sir. Now, next point is related to additional places. This point is not related to your analysis of financial statement. This is a journal point. You just need to check that each and every additional place of business is added on the GSTN portal or not. Nowadays, from 16th of June, department is going to do the physical verification of business premises. Okay. और मैंने ऐसा सुना है कि मैक्सिमम एडिशनल प्लेस ऑफ बिजनेसेस आर एडेड इन दैट पर्टिकुलर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. ओके, so you need to check that each and every additional place of businesses, that means where the goods is stored related to that particular entity, is available on the GSTN portal or not. Okay, when you are going to check the 3CD form, the branches detail is also mentioned in that 3CD form. You can check the same, that all the branches which is mentioned in the 3CD form is available on GSTN portal or not. First trick is that. Second trick, sir, you, when you are going for the physical verification of that particular business premises, at that time you got the idea that where the goods has stored. If there is any additional place of business, in that case we need to check the same, that the additional place is declared on GST and records or not, or if there is non-declaration, in that case there is a penal provision on that particular entity. So we need to check the same specifically regarding the additional place of businesses. Sir, आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट आपको कभी फेवर नहीं लेना है एसएससी का, या फिर हमको हमेशा संदेह की निगाहों से ही देखना है, but we need to check the things at compliance is proper, reconciliation is proper, sales and purchase is proper, and is not in the any fake invoicing activities. Okay, this is our target, because गवर्नमेंट ने हमको ये जॉब दिया है कि हमको ये सारी सारी चीजें चेक करनी है. So we need to do the same. Next, sir, check the incentive and other income part. We had already discussed on that, how you are going to check the other income part. You are going to demand the ledger of that other income, and by that analysis of ledger you got the idea about the income side on which GST should be applicable or not applicable. Okay, sir. Next point, analysis of GST portal. Sir, when you got the audit of a particular entity, in that case First, you need to do the analysis of GSTN portal. This is my suggestion to you. After getting the financial statement, you should do the analysis of GSTN portal. वो आया, उसके बाद में आप उसके सामने कर रहे हो. कई बार हम लोग ऑडिट करवाने के लिए जाते हैं. मैक्सिमम टाइम आई एम इन्वॉल्व इन द लिटिगेशन पार्ट ओनली. ओके, सो जब हम लोग ऑडिट करवाने के लिए जाते हैं तो डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी हमारे सामने बैठ करके उस जीएसटीएन पोर्टल को एनालिसिस करता है कि इसमें ये चीज है, इसमें ये चीज है, इसमें ये चीज है. This is my humble request to you. Before starting the audit or before a chartered accountant, you just need to do the analysis of that GSTN portal completely at your own end. That is, अगर आपको ईवे बिल से कंपेयर करवानी है सेल्स, आप पहले ही ईवे बिल से कंपेयर करवा दो. इफ यू वांट टू चेक दैट what amount of cash paid by that particular taxpayer, in that case you just need to check the electronic cash ledger, electronic credit ledger. You should just need to take, if he had claimed the refund, in that case you need to check that what amount of refund he had claimed and prepare your working. Okay, this is my suggestion. You can prepare the working in Excel sheet and you can prepare the working in manual also. This is completely depend on you, that you are going to prepare the working manually or you are going to prepare the working on Excel sheet, but you need to ready these type of workings. Complete analysis of GSTN portal from your input point of view, from your output point of view, from your e-way bill and e-invoicing point of view, from your cash payment point of view. Okay, section 49 subsection 12, and that is if the turnover got exceeded by 50 lakh rupees in a particular month, in that case 1% of total tax liability should be payable in cash. So in that case we need to check that the assessee is complied with them or not. So we can analyze the electronic cash ledger on the GSTN portal. So this is my humble submission to you. Before starting the audit, do this task analysis of GSTN portal and prepare your working manually or in Excel sheet. It is completely based on you. Now, next, sir, purchases as on the last date of month. As per section 16 subsection 2 of CGST Act, for claiming the input tax credit, the must condition is that you got that particular material at your principal place of business or at your place of business. Suppose I am in Rajasthan. I am always taking this example. I am in Rajasthan and I bought that particular product from Maharashtra. Invoice date is of 30th April and I had claimed the input tax credit also. Is that practically possible that within one day I am getting the particular product from Maharashtra to Rajasthan in within one day? So this is not possible. So in that case, taxpayer has claimed the input tax credit before receiving the goods. In that case, उसको goods suppose करो 2nd of May को receive हुआ. So he will be eligible to claim the input tax credit in May month. But he has claimed the same in April month according to the invoices. So in that case, only invoice is not a sufficient ground to claim input tax credit. You need to receive the goods. So input tax credit is claimed 1 month earlier. So there is an interest liability can be raised on that particular type of assessee. ये उसने इंटेंशनली नहीं किया है, यहाँ उसका कोई फ्रॉड का नेचर नहीं है, बिकॉज अकाउंटेंट के पास में जिस डेट की इनवॉइस पहुंचती है, अकाउंटेंट इज गोइंग टू डू द ऑडिट ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर डे. And according to the accounting, return has already sent to the chartered accountant, and in CA office return has already filed with that particular date. That means the taxpayer is not entitled, not eligible to claim the input tax credit is April month, and he had claimed the same without considering the section 16 subsection 2. So you can raise the demand on account of that point. You need to check the things. ओके एक बार हो सकता है आप उसको छोड़ भी दो, बट फ्रॉम नेक्स्ट टाइम ऑनवर्ड्स उसको ये रेगुलराइज करना पड़ेगा कि जब तक उसको गुड्स रिसीव नहीं हुआ है, ही इज नॉट एलिजिबल टू क्लेम द इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट. वी नीड टू चेक दिस सेम. Okay, sir. So this is an important point on which we need to do when you are going to do the analysis of financial statement, when you are going to do the analysis of purchase register. In that case, you need to check that in that particular purchase register, what is the purchases which is on the last day of a particular month. In that case, you need to check that if there is an interstate supply and it is not possible that within one day goods has received to the place of business, in that case, how the taxpayer can claim the input tax credit in that month. So you need to check the same. Compare every item of financial statement with last year and check the unusual increase and decrease. Sir, expenditure and income side, you just need to demand. Also nowadays, currently, This is also mandatory under Income Tax Act, that we need to provide the comparison of the financial statement. That is, when I am going to submit the financial statement income tax audit report, in that case I need to provide the my audit report, that is my profit and loss account, in that particular format: current year, previous year, current year, previous year. You need to demand that particular type of financials for better comparison in the sales, in the expenditure, in the income side, so that you got the idea that what is going in that particular business entity. Okay, sir. So this is a point on which we need to do the work. Next, check the place of supply from the sales register. Sir, when you are going to check the sales register, these two documents are very much relevant to you, for sales register and for purchase register. And maximum in cases of bill to ship to model, you found certain things. So when you are going to analyze the sales register, in that case from the state, you need to check that the place of supply is correct or not. कहीं आईजीएसटी की जगह पे सीजीएसटी और एसजीएसटी तो नहीं लग गया है, या फिर इन इंस्टेड ऑफ चार्जिंग सीजीएसटी एंड एसजीएसटी, आईजीएसटी आर चार्ज्ड बाय दैट पर्टिकुलर टैक्स पेयर. So we need to decide the same from the analysis of the place of supply. So we need to check the same from the sales register. Okay, that is what is our responsibility when we are doing the analysis of sales register. At that time we need to check the place of supply. Valuation should be checked for each and every item of the financials. Sir, when you are doing the analysis of the income side of that financial statement, we had already discussed on that particular point, that suppose other income is there, incentive is there, discount is there, incentive interest is there. In that case, you need to check if the taxpayer has paid the tax on that particular supply. In that case, we need to check that the tax is as per the valuation rules. कई बार क्या होता है, हम लोग एज ए डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी देख लेते हैं, इंसेंटिव है, इंसेंटिव पे जीएसटी गया है, इज दैट ओके? सर अगर उसका सीए मेरे जैसा होगा, तो इन दैट केस वो उस इंसेंटिव को दिखाएगा, इंसेंटिव पे जीएसटी तो पे करेगा ही. यू नीड टू चेक दैट द इंसेंटिव इज एज पर द वैल्यूएशन रूल नंबर 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 एंड जीएसटी इज पेड अकॉर्डिंगली और नॉट. एज अ डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी दिस इज अवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. जीएसटी पे कर दिया, ओके. सर जीएसटी सही अमाउंट पे किया है या फिर नहीं किया है, हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू एनालाइज द सेम. फॉर दैट पर्पस यू नीड टू टेक द रेफरेंस ऑफ वेरियस वैल्यूएशन रूल्स ऑफ सीजीएसटी रूल्स. ओके सर. नाउ जीएसटी टैक्स लायबिलिटी शुड बी चेक विद द जीएसटीएन पोर्टल. सर जो जीएसटी टैक्स उसने पे किया है एज पर द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट, एज पर द बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स, वी नीड टू चेक द सेम दैट द सेम liability is on GSTN portal. Okay, in the electronic cash ledger you got the idea that what amount of tax he has paid in the cash and what amount of tax the particular entity has adjusted with the credit ledger. We need to check the same. Also one more ledger is available, that is electronic liability register or electronic liability ledger. We need to check the same also. If any type of seizure of goods in the during the transportation, department is going to raise the demand in that electronic liability register, at the time of doing the audit we need to check that if there is any liability in that electronic liability register, in that case we need to check that the liability is already paid by that taxpayer or not. And if there is non payment, in that case we need to demand the same, we need to raise the demand the same. कई बार क्या होता है, मैक्सिमम केसेस में हमने ये देखा है कि ड्यूरिंग द ट्रांसपोर्टेशन वो गुड्स को रिटेन कर लेते हैं and they are going to raise the demand and taxpayer is going to pay the same in electronic cash ledger, but departmental authority is not going to adjust the same. Balance is still available in the electronic cash ledger 1 year, 1.5 year, 2 year बाद में क्या होता है, उसको हम लोग एडजस्ट कर देते हैं सेल्स से, and the demand is already raised in the electronic liability register. So this is our responsibility. At the time of doing the GST audit we need to check the electronic liability register also. हम लोग उस चीज को छूते ही नहीं है. कई सारे ऐसे पैरामीटर्स हैं while doing the audit, हम उन पैरामीटर्स को नहीं देखते हैं. आज इस सेशन में तो चलो अवर पॉइंट इज जस्ट लाइक द एनालिसिस ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट, बट this is a complete 20 hours training program on GST audit, in which there are multiple points are there available on which we need to do the analysis at the time of GST audit. Okay, so आज तो अपन अपने discussion को limited रखते हैं to the financial statement. Certain points are really very important, so I had shared the same with you. Okay, So you need to check the electronic liability register and liability on the GSTN portal with compare to the books of accounts. Sir, if there is any refund, in that case, we need to check that the proper accounting is already done for that particular refund. Suppose he has demanded for the refund amounting 4 lakh rupees. Departmental authority has allotted only 3 lakh rupees. In that case, we need to check the proper accounting has done. Also, at the time of audit, we need to check that जो रिफंड की कैलकुलेशन इज परफेक्ट. ओके, कई बार क्या होता है, हो सकता है कि डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी ने कुछ मिस हो गया हो या फिर कैलकुलेशन में कुछ दिक्कत हुई हो. So if you found any issue regarding refund, in that case you need to check that refund is as per the rules, proper accounting is there, input tax credit is already adjusted with that refund figure in the books of accounts, and everything is perfect. We need to check the same. Now, special focus is on sales return, credit note, debit note, rate differences, discount, and replacement. You need to check the same. Okay, there is, if there is any credit note, debit note, discount, and rate differences, in that case we need to check that regarding rate differences and discount, the terms is already decided at the time of invoice or not. And if there is no decide of particular terms and conditions at the time of invoice, in that case financial credit note should be issued. You cannot issue the trade credit note or debit note. You cannot adjust the GST figure in that case. So for that purposes, when you are going to check the sales register, in that case you need to analyze the sales return also. With that sales return, you need to analyze the credit and debit note. Also you need to analyze the discount. And while analyzing that particular type of discount, you need to do the two type of discount, that is financial discount and your trade discount. On your financial discount means the terms is not decided at the time of invoice. In that case, you can adjust the taxable value, but you cannot adjust the GST liability. Suppose the credit note related to financial discount is for 50,000 rupees. In that case, you can reduce the taxable value with 50,000 rupees, but you cannot reduce the CGST, SGST, or IGST. That is, you cannot reduce the tax figures in that particular case, in case of financial discount. So you need to check कि कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है जिसमें terms पहले decide नहीं हुई थी, फिर भी वो टैक्स पे क्या कर रहा है, वहां पर उसकी वैल्यू को एडजस्ट कर रहा है, दैट इज टैक्सेबल वैल्यू को एडजस्ट कर रहा है, जीएसटी को एडजस्ट कर रहा है. इन दैट केस दिस इज एन alarming situation for us, and we need to check the same. So in case of discount, in case of rate difference, we need to check that the terms is already decided or not. And if the terms are not decided, in that case financial credit note should be issued, not the trade credit notes. This is a specific point on which we need to do the analysis. Next, sir, if there is any export sales, मैंने आपको पहले ही बोला, you need to demand the head wise sales from that particular entity, your inter branch transfer, your normal sales, your export sales. And if there is export sales, in that case you need to check that the same is as per the IC get portal. Also, if there is any drawback, that drawback is claimed by that particular entity or not. And if there is a drawback is available, in that case you need to check that the drawback is a higher rate, lower rate, or medium rate. You need to check the same. Okay, and if there is drawback at a higher rate, in that case you need to reverse the particular refund amount. Okay, so this is the trick on which we need to do the work, that अगर export मिला तो पहले मुझे sales reconcile करनी है from IC get portal. Then I need to check that any type of drawback is there or not. If there is a drawback, in that case we need to check that the drawback is a higher rate or lower rate. If drawback is a lower rate, in that case everything is okay. If the drawback is a higher rate, in that case हमको ये देखना है कि जो higher drawback है उसका हमको reversal करवाना है. Also, we need to check that suppose the export is on account of letter of undertaking and the taxpayer is claiming the refund on account of accumulated balance in electronic credit ledger. In that case we need to check the eligibility, that वो refund claim करने के लिए eligible है या फिर नहीं है. कहीं फेक इनवॉइसिंग तो उसके अंदर इन्वॉल्व नहीं है. सपोज ही इज गोइंग टू एक्सपोर्ट द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ हैंडीक्राफ्ट and he is buying the steel products. When you are going to check the input tax credit, you found certain invoices regarding steel. In that case, this is in a suspicious activity, that when you are involved in the handicraft product, how you can buy the flat and all steel products? This is not possible. So you need to do the analysis from that point of view. Just you find out one term that there is a export sales. In that case, you need to do the analysis on these very important points. Okay, sir. Next, special focus on time of supply, place of supply, value of supply. Sir, when you are doing the analysis of financial statement, when you are checking the terms of that financial statement, you need to check that the time of supply is perfect, the place of supply is perfect, and value of supply is perfect. Value in regarding to the पर्टिकुलर इनकम साइड आइटम्स. टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई मींस जिस पीरियड में आपको टैक्स का पेमेंट करना था, क्या आपने पेमेंट किया या फिर नहीं किया, यू नीड टू चेक. ओके. एंड प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई, यू नीड टू पे द आईजीएसटी एंड यू हैड पेड द सीजीएसटी और एसजीएसटी, so you need to identify these type of situation. So when you are going to do the analysis, 3 points which will be in your mind, that is your place of supply, time of supply, and value of supply. These points plays a very important role. Okay, sir. Next and last point, that is expenditure should be checked from input eligibility point of view. When you are going to check the expenditure, when you are going to analyze the profit and loss account of a particular entity and there are multiple expenditures are available, in that case you need to check that what type of expenditure on which input is allowed it, and there are certain expenditure are also available on which input tax credit is not allowed it. So you need to check that if there is any input which is blocked under section 17 subsection 5, पार्टी ने कहीं वो तो क्लेम नहीं कर लिए. मान लो when you are going to check the fixed asset chart, there is a building, there is a furniture and fixtures, there is a any electronic fitting, internal electronic fitting. In that case, you need to check that input is claimed or not, because the same is blocked under section 17 subsection 5. So you need to check the same. So, sir, when you are going to check the expenditure side, at that time you need to check that the expenditure is eligible for the input tax credit or not. Sir, these are the 28 important points from the analysis of financial statement. These are the basics. These are the important point regarding the financial statement. अगर आप इन 28 points को अपने mind में रखते हो, then this is my assurance to you that when you are going to do the analysis of financial statement, you can easily find out multiple things from that financial statement if there is any negative issue are there. Okay, or you can effectively analyze the financial statement. Sir, I need your questions, I need your comment from your side that everything is okay from that particular 28 points, so that I can take my next discussion on financial statement and form 3CA, 3CB, 3CD. So everything is okay till अगर आपको इन 28 पॉइंट का नॉलेज है, in that case you can easily analyze the financial statement. There will be no issue with that. Sir, once confirm in the chat box that you got the idea about the financial statement analysis from these 28 points. And if you have any question, you are free to raise your queries in the chat box. वैसे देखा जाए तो हमारा फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट का एनालिसिस कंप्लीट हो चुका है सर. But now we are going to do the practically check the things in the financial statements. Okay. Sir, if you have any issue, any point, any question related to those 28 points, you are free to raise the questions. Although there is no issue, if you are not going to raise the questions in between the session, one WhatsApp group is there. You can easily raise the questions in that WhatsApp group. I will provide you the reply definitely. So, sir, I got reply from one person only, and there are around 20 participants are there, and I am hoping that everyone should provide the reply. बाकी आपके ऊपर है. You need to provide the if you are providing the reply, then this is a great appreciation for me. Now, sir, form 3CB, 3CD का analysis भी कर लेते हैं. Then after we are going to do the check the financial statement practically, that what are the things which is available in that particular financial statement. I'm not going to do the clause by clause analysis of that 3CB, 3CD form, but I am going to discuss on the very significant points of that 3CB, 3CD points. Okay, related to GST audit, what are the points on which we need to do the more emphasis and more analysis? Now, sir, first of all, there are certain observation and qualification part, and these observations and qualifications is by departmental by the chartered accountant who has done the audit of that particular accounts. So we need to be very much careful for that. So we need to be very much careful for that because अगर उसने कुछ रिपोर्ट किया है तो वी कैन चेक द थिंग्स. ओके, वी कैन चेक द थिंग्स दैट इफ देयर इज एनी significant issue then auditor has reported the same in the observation tab, so we need to check the same. So first I am going to read the discussion on certain observation which are provided by the chartered accountant. So in that particular case, this is the point: we are not certifying that the ITC claimed by the assessee is eligible or not. Okay, this type of comment is provided by the chartered accountant, that is income tax auditor. This comment is general, वो provide करवाएगा because how he can analyze the things that the input tax rate is eligible or not. Okay, this is the responsibility of GST auditor, or this is the responsibility who is doing the GST work of that particular entity. So in that case, अब यहाँ पर उसने ये रिपोर्ट कर दिया. इन दैट केस अपना एक फोकस स्पेसिफिक जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि उसने यहाँ पर ये रिपोर्ट किया. दैट मीन्स हो सकता है कि यहाँ पे कुछ ना कुछ इश्यूज हैं. देयर आर सर्टेन इश्यूज आर अवेलेबल इन द जीएसटी डेटा, so we need to be very much careful for that. We need to check the input tax credit from eligibility and ineligibility point of view. We need to check that the input is eligible or not. Sir, which physical material is not received to you? Please, can you please text me personally? So we'll arrange the tracking ID and all that. And recording will be available. We'll share you the recording link to you by today evening. Then after, we have been told that no such expenses has been debited. The assessee has not made any payment exceeding the limit. ये income tax का point है. We need to be very much careful for that. It is not possible to determine breakup of total expenditure of entities registered or not registered under the GST, as necessary information is not maintained by the assessee its books of accounts. That means when you are going to analyze the financial statement, in that case when you are doing the analysis of expenditure side, इन दैट केस यहाँ पर ऑडिटर ने ये बोल दिया है, जो भी इनकम टैक्स का ऑडिटर है उसने ये बोल दिया है कि जो भी एक्सपेंडिचर है फ्रॉम रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन एंड अनरजिस्टर्ड पर्सन, वी आर नॉट एबल टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट और डिवाइड द सेम फ्रॉम रजिस्टर्ड एंटिटी एंड फ्रॉम अनरजिस्टर्ड एंटिटी. So at the time when you are doing the GST audit, we need to demand the same. Okay, suppose what you need to do, everything is available in the software. सपोज देर आर मैक्सिमम, अगर मैं पकड़ू तो 50 टाइप ऑफ एक्सपेंडिचर होंगे, मैक्सिमम 50 टाइप ऑफ एक्सपेंडिचर होंगे. यू जस्ट नीड टू डिमांड द शीट ऑफ बाइफर्केशन रिगार्डिंग परचेजेस फ्रॉम रजिस्टर्ड एंड परचेजेस फ्रॉम अनरजिस्टर्ड पर्सन फॉर दैट एक्सपेंडिचर, एंड दैट शीट इज ऑटोमेटिकली जनरेटेड फ्रॉम द अकाउंटिंग सॉफ्टवेयर. You just need to demand the same. And when you got that sheet, in that case if he had bought certain products, certain expenditure from an unregistered person, in that case you can analyze that RCM is applicable or not. This is also in a situation you can analyze that RCM is applicable or not. So that is what is the trick. So for all the expenditure side, you need to demand the bifurcation from registered person and unregistered person, and from that bifurcation and from that consolidated figure, you just need to compare the same from the financial statement, that everything is no. Okay, when this is my suggestion to you, when you are going to demand any bifurcation or any sheet, in that case you just need to compare the consolidated figure from the financial statement, so that it will be assured for you that everything is okay. Okay sir, so two points are there in this case. One is related to eligibility and ineligibility of input tax credit. Another point is expenditure. So both points are very much relevant for us. And now we need to do the analysis of financial statement accordingly. Okay, sir. Now, next point. Now from 3CD, sir, I am going to discuss the point which is relevant for us. Okay. Now, from this point number 11, we got that idea that what type of books of accounts is maintained by the taxpayer. So, cash book, ledger, journal, bank book, sales register, purchase register, and other supporting documents computerized. Suppose during your audit, when you are going to demand the journal ledger, please provide us the journal ledger. Or if taxpayer is said that, sir, we are not maintaining the journal ledger, at that time you can say that the same is mentioned in your form 3CD that you are going to maintain the journal ledger and you need to provide the same. Also, journal ledger maintained by the all the parties. So we need to be very much careful for that. By analyzing the form 3CD, you got the idea that what are the required document which is maintained by that particular entity, because while doing the audit you also need to record that what are the important records which is maintained by the taxpayer. So by analyzing the form 3CD you can get the idea. Okay sir. Now ICDS is not relevant for you. So there are certain important points are there on which I am going to discuss next. Particular of payment made to person is specified in section 48 to B, that is related party. Clause number 23, that is related party. In that case this clause is blank because there are no transaction with the related party. But when you are going to analyze the financial statement you need to check the same, that if there is any transaction with the related party, in that case we are going to check the transactions, that the valuation and the place of supply is perfect or not, and the time of supply is perfect or not. कहीं manipulation of input tax credit and output tax credit तो नहीं हो रहा है. In that particular case we need to identify the same. So this is an important point from related party transactions and we can check the same from the point number 23. Okay sir. Now next sir, point number 27. In that point number 27 they are going to provide the closing balance of input tax credit, closing balance of input tax credit as on the last day of the financial year. So you need to check the same, that the closing balance which is mentioned in the form GSTR 3B is reconciled with the GST and common portal and reconciled with the books of accounts, that is the balance sheet. Okay, so in that particular case you can compare the same from the closing balance of the books of accounts, closing balance of GST and portal, and closing balance which is mentioned in your GSTR 3B return. That is what is the way from which you can analyze the things. Okay sir, from 3CD there is no requirement that you need to read each and every clause, because in maximum clauses you found nil, not applicable, all that. So I am just going to share certain specific things which you need to check from GST audit point of view. Point number 23, point number 27, also the books of accounts is important part. Okay sir. Now suppose the assessee is पेइंग द इंटरेस्ट. इन दैट केस अगर वो ये बोलता है कि ये इंटरेस्ट जो मैं पे कर रहा हूं वो फाइनेंशियल इंटरेस्ट है, दैट इज ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ लोन है, इन दैट केस देयर इज अ लिस्ट अवेलेबल ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ 269 एसेट्स, दैट इज लोन डिपॉजिटेड एंड लोन टेकन. Okay, in that case, point number 31, loan taken, we need to check the same, that the interest is matching with that or not. पार्टीज वी कैन एनालाइज कि पार्टीज जो उसने बोली है कि ये पार्टीज मेरे फाइनेंशियल इंटरेस्ट से रिलेटेड है, वो पार्टीज यहाँ पर 269 एसेट्स के अंदर शो होनी चाहिए. If the party is not showing in that 269 assets, then we can say that sir you are claiming that the interest is financial interest, and if the interest is in financial interest, in that case why the same is not reflected in your column number 31 of 3CD form 269 SS. So from that loan point of view, we can analyze on this point. Sir, you are getting the points from 3CD. There are no much emphasis is available. You just need to take care of things. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज रिलेटेड टू, मैंने स्टार्टिंग में बोला था वी नीड टू एनालाइज द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट, और फॉर एनालाइजिंग द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट दिस इज अ वेरी स्पेसिफिक टूल विच इज अवेलेबल इन फॉर्म 3CD. Just comparison of the figures from the last year to the current year, you also got the ratio. In that particular case, the sales turnover of the assessee in the previous financial year was 3 करोड़ 18 लाख, okay, and in current preceding financial year was 2 crore 65 lakh 47,508, so that we can idea there is an increment of sales and the sales is gradually increases, so there is no any significant issue. We can also analyze the gross profit, the net profit and the stock. हो सकता है ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट एंड नेट प्रॉफिट इज नॉट द मोर स्पेसिफिक पॉइंट फॉर अस, बट फ्रॉम एनालिसिस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू द टर्नओवर एंड द स्टॉक इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस. कहीं स्टॉक में एक ह्यूज मूवमेंट तो नहीं हुआ है और कहीं सेल्स में कोई ह्यूज मूवमेंट तो नहीं हुआ है. वी कैन चेक द सेम फ्रॉम द 3CD पॉइंट नंबर 40. Okay, sir. So 3 to 4 points are relevant for us regarding the 3CD, the qualification observation point also. Okay, sir. Now you just need to check the fixed assets chart from that particular 3CD point. Okay, you just need to check the fixed assets chart from that 3CD point with the financial statement and with the books of account. Sir, क्या ये वाला फाइनेंशियल, ये वाला डेप्रिसिएशन चार्ट बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट से मैच होना जरूरी है? No, there is no requirement that the fixed assets chart as per the 3CD should be matched with your financial statement fixed assets chart, because दिस चार्ट इज एज पर द इनकम टैक्स एक्ट, और बुक्स में मैं कुछ और भी कर सकता हूं, बस उसका एक नोट जो है 3CD के अंदर चला जाएगा. Okay, sir. So, if there is any difference in that case, you cannot say to the taxpayer that there is a revenue leakage and there is a non-compliance of the transaction. No, sir. You need to check that he has declared the same as per the income tax in the financial statement in that 3CD form. This is not an issue. We just need to check from that fixed asset chart that if there is any addition on account of fixed assets. In that case, input tax credit is claimed properly, and if there is any sales, in that case GST is paid properly. This is the point on which we need to do the analysis. Our point is not that the depreciation is as per this and this. Okay, suppose if you are doing the audit for financial year 18-19, ओके, दिस इज द प्रैक्टिकल केस जो मेरे साथ में हुआ है. मैंने वहां पर डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी को समझाया. यहां पर क्या हुआ, फाइनेंशियल ईयर 18-19 की ऑडिट थी एंड कोई बिल्डिंग का कंस्ट्रक्शन था. देयर वाज अ कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ बिल्डिंग. एज पर इनकम टैक्स एक्ट में डेप्रिसिएशन तभी क्लेम कर सकता हूं जब मैं उसको पुट टू यूज डाल दूं, बट एज पर माई बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स जब मैं उसका एक्सपेंडिचर कर रहा हूं देन आई एम गोइंग टू एड द सेम टू द कैपिटल एंड आई एम क्लेमिंग द डेप्रिसिएशन, ओके, ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ बिल्डिंग. सो यहां पर क्या हुआ, फाइनेंशियल ईयर 18-19 की ऑडिट चल रही थी. डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी इज डूइंग द ऑडिट ऑफ फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2018 and 19, एंड there was an addition in the building and machinery in financial year 17-18. So in my books of accounts, I had already shown the same addition on financial year 17-18, but I had shown the same in my financial year 19-18 3CD the addition, because I had put to use that building in financial year 18-19 itself. So यहाँ पर डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी ने बोला कि सर आपने यहाँ पे ना एडिशन किया है और इस एडिशन पे आपने जीएसटी पे नहीं किया है. मैं उसको रिकंसाइल करवा रहा हूँ सर. आई हैड ऑलरेडी रिवर्स द सेम, आई हैड ऑलरेडी क्लेम द सेम इन 17-18 एंड रिवर्स द सेम. वो मानने को तैयार नहीं. उसने बोला सर यहाँ आपने एडिशन किया है, यहाँ आपने एडिशन किया है. फिर उसको समझाया कि एज पर इनकम टैक्स एक्ट जब मैं उसको पुट टू यूज करूंगा तब मैं उसको 3CD में ऐड करूंगा, और वहां पर मेरे फाइनेंशियल बुक्स में मैंने जो एक्सपेंडिचर किया है उसके अकॉर्डिंग मैंने ऐड किया है. सो डिफरेंस इज पॉसिबल. वी नीड टू एनालाइज द सिचुएशंस. ओके, डायरेक्टली अगर हम उसके सीए से जाकर के क्वेश्चन रेज करेंगे वो बोलेगा इतना भी नहीं समझते हो क्या. So we need to do the things in such a way. Okay, we need to take the things in such a way that if there is any difference between the depreciation chart as per 3CD and as per the books of accounts, we need to take the clarification from the party. But we are not going to argue that there is a revenue loss and there is a reversal and all that. We just need to take the clarification, sir, why there is a difference, and if there is difference, then what is the reason for that. Okay, sir. So that is what is the analysis of our form 3CD. Sir, total 5 points we had discussed regarding that that analysis of that 3CD form. Sir, everything is okay for you? If everything is okay, then I am going to start the discussion on the practical things of that financial statement. I am going to discuss around 4 to 5 financial statement in this session. Okay, then after we are going to conclude the session. So if you have any issue, you can raise the same in the chat box. Chat box is there. And if 3CD emphasis of form 3CD is okay, then please comment in the chat box that you got the point. And if you want to discuss any other point from that 3CD, then also comment in the chat box so that we can take that point also. I am trying to cover each and everything regarding the financial statement analysis in this particular session, in that particular webinar. So, sir, 3CB, 3CD is okay for you? Now, sir, ट्रेडिंग एंड प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट, जैसा कि मैंने बोला था कि अपने को चीजें लास्ट ईयर से कंपेयर करवानी है. वी आर गोइंग टू कंपेयर द थिंग्स फ्रॉम द लास्ट ईयर. सो इन दैट पर्टिकुलर केस, व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू check the financial statement here, current financial year is also there and previous financial year is also there. Current financial year, previous financial year. Just he I got the financial statement, my first thing is that to do the analysis of sales, the trends of sales. Current year sales is 3 crore 18 lakh and last year sales was 2 crore and 64 lakh. That is okay. There is no issue with that. Okay. The sales is increasing in a gradual way. So this is not any significant issue related to fake selling and all that. Okay. Now, sales of services is not there in the current financial year. Last year there was a sales of services. Okay. Okay. This is also not an issue. Sir, opening stock. Okay. Purchases. Last year purchases was 2 crore 60 lakh. Current year purchases is 3 crore 18 lakh. Accordingly, closing stock has also increased and sales has also increased. So we can say there is no issue. That is okay for us. Okay. So we need to analyze in that way that यहाँ पर अगर purchase बड़ी है, in that case sales also increased and the closing stock has also increased. So okay sir, there is no issue with that. That is the part of analysis of sales and purchase. That was, we had discussed the first point. Okay. जो भी हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था, by these financial statement we are just going to implement the same. कि सच में ऐसा होता है, when you will do the audit of any entity and you are going to check the financial statement, you will found the same. Okay. Sir, freight 85 to 86 and 51 166. From that freight you just need to check the GSTR 3B, consolidated GSTR 3B return. Okay, on whole this 85,286 taxpayer has paid RCM or not. You need to check the same. And how you can check? You just need to download the consolidated GSTR 3B return from the GSTN portal. In that you can easily check that the freight is okay or not. Okay sir. Now incentive is there. So in that case you just need to check that incentive GST has already paid on that incentive or not. Okay, because when you are going to reconcile the sales as per your financial statement, sales as per your 3B, in that case you found the difference. Okay, suppose there is an excess payment of tax in your GSTR 3B with rupees 14,435, then this is the figure you have, that is incentive. Then you got the idea that taxpayer has paid the tax on GST also. Then sir, next, discount, income of discount. Then you need to check that on that particular discount debit note has issued or not, GST has paid or not on that particular discount, or the discount is related to the financial discount or trade discount. We also need to check the same. Okay sir. Now interest on saving bank account, you do not need to do anything because there is no GST on banking transaction interest. This interest should be considered as your financial interest. Okay sir. Now if I am talking from the expenditure point of view, in that case we need to check salary and wages there is no GST in case of salary and wages also there is no RCM applicability, so feel free, no issue. Then bank charges, sir, if there is any GST input has already claimed the same by that particular taxpayer. So this is my humble submission to you. For this type of expenditure, you need to check that the bifurcation from registered person and unregistered person. Say to your applicant, sir, arrange bifurcation of registered and unregistered person expenditure, or expenditure registered or unregistered wise expenditure sheet. Okay, then you need to compare that from registered person, in that case input tax credit is claimed or not, or from unregistered person, if there is any RCM liability, in that case RCM is paid or not. जैसे मुझे एक यहाँ पे expenditure दिख रहा है professional fees to others, in that case I am going to demand that particular ledger from that entity, that sir please provide us the professional fees ledger. In that case we need to check to whom that entity is going to pay the professional fees. कहीं वो advocate तो नहीं है, in that case the same should be categorized as legal fees, और अगर वो legal fees है तो वहां पर GST under RCM पे किया है या फिर नहीं किया है, entity has paid the taxes under reverse charge mechanism or not, we need to check this same. Okay sir, now there is other insurance, stationary expenditure. Up now sir, there is other insurance, in that case we need to check the nature of insurance. If the insurance is on account of general insurance, in that case input tax credit is not allowed it. But the insurance is on account of stock insurance and marine insurance, in that case input tax credit is allowed it. So we need to check the same, the nature of insurance. Okay sir, so we need to check the things how we can analyze that insurance. So for that purpose we are going to demand the insurance copy. Okay sir, copy लेकर के आ जाओ, and we are going to check if the insurance is related to marine and stock, allowed it. And if there is insurance is related to the general insurance, input is not allowed it. Mobile expenditure, office expenditure, traveling expenditure, telephone, conveyance, rent paid, postage, audit fees, you also need to demand the ledger of audit fees. कई बार audit fees में भी legal expenditure को club कर देते हैं, so we need to check the same. Vehicle repair, sir, input tax credit on account of repairing of vehicles is not allowed it, so you need to check that on that particular part input tax credit is claimed or not. Okay, you need to demand the ledger and you need to check the input is claimed or not. Okay, डोनेशन एंड डेप्रिसिएशन, डेप्रिसिएशन के लिए तो आपने ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर दिया रिगार्डिंग द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट पार्ट. सो सर दैट इज व्हाट इज द ट्रिक फ्रॉम विच वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस ऑन द एनालिसिस ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट, द प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट. सर यू गॉट माय पॉइंट. नेक्स्ट, बैलेंस शीट. सर GST receivable is there. So in that case, you just need to check that the same figure is on available on GSTN common portal when you are going to log in on that particular GSTN portal. In that case, you can check the things. Okay. You can check the things. Mm, just a single second. So from which you can do the analysis. Okay, sir. Now GST receivable, you need to compare the same from GSTN portal. Fixed assets chart, you are going to check the same, that if there is any addition or deletion, that is addition or sales, in that case on account of sales, GST is paid or not, on account of that is any deduction, in that case we need to check that उसको वहां पर reverse किया है या फिर नहीं किया है. Okay sir. After that we need to check creditors. Sir, poor 180 days payment. If you bought certain product, in that case you had made this payment to your buyer, to your supplier within 180 days or not, we need to check the same from creditors, and for that purposes we need to take the age wise creditors later. So these are the important parameter on which we need to do the analysis from financial statement point of view and from the point of view of our balance sheet point of view, trading and profit and loss account point of view. These are the important point. Profit and loss account may say we need to analyze on each and every segment, and if I am talking from balance sheet point of view, in that case more significant is our fixed assets point, our GST return, GST receivable point, our sundry creditors point. Okay, or suppose if there is no GST receivable, GST payable is there, in that case we need to check that the same is paid on GSTN portal or not by logging, by checking the electronic cash ledger. Okay, sir. So that is what is the point on which we need to do. Or when you are going to check these things, in that case you need to check that all the annexures are there. Suppose कैपिटल अकाउंट इज देयर, इन दैट केस यू नीड टू चेक एनी टाइप ऑफ पर्सनल नेचर की अगर यहाँ पर कोई इनकम है, बिकॉज इफ आई एम डूइंग द बिजनेस एज अ प्रोप्राइटर, in that case if I am taking any income in my personal nature, in that case GST should be chargeable on that particular income. So we need to check the same, because books के financial में हो सकता है the taxpayer is not going to enter the same when you are going to analyze the capital account of that entity, and if you found any issue, any income, in that case you need to check that GST is paid on that income or not. Suppose you got that figure as rent income, rental income, in that case you need to check that GST on that rental income is paid or not. We need to check the same. Okay, sir. So that is what is the way from which we can analyze that any personal nature के income पे GST पे किया है या फिर नहीं किया है, GST is paid on the personal nature income or not. Okay, sir. So now you need to analyze the annexures also. When you are demanding for the annexures, in that case you can check the sundry creditors list. Okay, and compare the same from last year. Suppose these entry Asis Jain Bung Enterprises, if the same are already there with the same amount, in that case we can say that the same entries are there, that means you had not made the payment to the particular supplier. In that case we are going to demand the ledger for the sundry creditors, so that we got the idea about that. Also we can do one more thing, age wise creditors we can demand. We had already discussed on that, age wise creditors. So sir, that is what is the trick from which we can do the analysis of financial statement. Now fixed assets chart is there, there is no addition and there is no deletion, there is no sales. So if there is no addition and no sales, in that case it is okay, we are not going to do something. Okay, sir. So that is what is the point on which we need to do the analysis. Annexures are there, you can check the parties for checking that there is no any fake parties there. Okay, sir. So you need to demand the same annexure wise. Sir, other financial statement, I am going to take the other financial statement of petrol pump. Okay, sir. Sir, last financial statement is okay for you. The financial statement, that is trading profit and loss account and the balance sheet part. Sir, everything is okay. Now, trading account. Sir, sales we are going to check. Opening stock is also there. Purchases is also there. Closing stock is also there. Sir, other expenditure. We need to check what is the nature of these type of other expenditure. कहीं फ्राइट को तो उसने अदर एक्सपेंडिचर में नहीं डाला है. इफ दे इंक्लूडेड द फ्राइट इन द अदर एक्सपेंडिचर, इन दैट केस वी नीड टू चेक द सेम. सो वी नीड टू चेक द नेचर ऑफ अदर एक्सपेंडिचर. SSLF charges, if there are certain charges in the nature of SSLF, we need to check that what is the kind of these type of charges. वैसे these type of charges are chargeable in case of petrol pump. Okay, so we need to check that the input is allowed on these type of expenditure or not, or input is claimed by that particular party or not. Okay, next, shrinkage loss. Sir, in case of shrinkage loss, if the shrinkage is of normal in nature, normal shrinkage, in that case input is allowed it. But in case of shrinkage is in nature of abnormal, in that case input tax credit is not allowed it. So we need to bifurcate the figure. इन मैक्सिमम केसेस क्या होगा, अगर उसने कंप्लीट सिंक्रेज यहाँ पे बुक किया है, तो ही द एंटिटी इज गोइंग टू क्लेम द इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट ऑन कंप्लीट सिंक्रेज एक्सपेंडिचर. We need to check the bifurcation of that syncage expenditure between the normal and abnormal. If the loss is normal in nature, in that case input tax credit is allowed. But if the expenditure is abnormal in nature, in that case input tax credit is not allowed. So we need to check the same. This is a new thing. Okay, I am always saying that on account of normal expenditure input is allowed, on account of abnormal expenditure input is not allowed. You need to reverse the same. Next, sir, there is dealer margin in case of petrol pump. So on account of that dealer margin, GST has to be paid. On account of that tanker freight income, suppose tanker is provided and on that particular part assess is getting the income, in that case GST should be applicable on that tanker freight, because this is an income for us. So in that case, GST should be chargeable. In case of difference margin or dealer's margin, we can say difference margin or dealer margin. So in that case, GST should be chargeable. In case of any other income, we just need to take the nature of that income, and on account of that nature of that income, we need to charge the GST. Lease rent received from HPCL. So on that lease rent, GST should be chargeable. Interest on saving bank account, there is no GST on that. Dividend, there is no GST in that particular case. So we need to check the things. In case of petrol pump, we need to do the excise, because when you are merely going to do the reconciliation and you are reflecting the sales and 3B sales, in that case you found many differences. In case of petrol pump, in case of construction, so in that case you need to add or less maximum things. जैसे यहाँ पर आप, in this case if you are going to check the sales from GST or 3B, with that sales you got the differences, you need to reconcile the figure from tanker freight, difference margin, any other income, lease rent, and after adjusting all those figures, if there is any unreconciled figure is there, in that case you need to ask the question with the taxpayer that why there is a difference, please provide the reconciliation. If there is any difference, in that case if you had correct the same in the next period, or correct the same in GST 9 and 9C, in that case provide the details for the same. Okay sir, so how you are going to do the reconciliations? Now, if I'm talking from expenditure side point of view, in that case, you just need to do one thing. You just need to demand from your party, from the counterparty, that sir, please provide us the expenditure as a direct and indirect in nature, that is registered and unregistered in nature expenditure, and we are going to analyze the things, that what expenditure on account of registered and what expenditure is on account of unregistered. We need to do the things. Okay, sir. So in case of petrol pump, although input tax rate is not allowed it, okay. So in that case, we need to check that input tax rate is claimed by that particular entity or not. Or if there is no any input tax, it is claimed, in that case, okay. But if there is input is claimed, in that case, we need to carefully example rule number 42 and 43. Because in case of petrol pump, if they are going to sell the lubes and all that, GST will be applicable. But on petroleum and petroleum products, no GST will be applicable. That means two supplies are there. So in that case, we need to check rule number 42, 43. Okay, if any supply is particularly related to the taxable supply, in that case, there is no question of rule number 42 and 43. But if that particular inward supply is used for taxable as well as non-taxable supply, in that case, this is a question for us, and we need to use the rule number 42 and 43 for reversal purposes. So, sir, how we are going to do the analysis of that financial statement? Next, for that GST receivable, we are going to check the same from the GSTN portal. Cash in bank, cash in hand is okay. Sir, for this loan amount, SBI loan, Union Bank loan, ICICI Bank, suppose you are doing the audit of financial year 18-19 and loan is taken in financial year 18-19 itself. In that case, there is a more relevance of your sales reconciliation, that suppose for 18-19 there is a sales of 25 crore rupees, for 19-20 and 20-21 onwards sales is just 10 crore and 15 crore, to taking the loan he has boosted the sales. So in that case this is also a significant issue for us. So we need to analyze the things in such a way. Now creditors, sir, age wise creditors we are going to take the same, and from that age wise creditors we are going to compare that there is no pendency of the amount which is paying to the supplier. So sir, how we are now, from by doing these exercise we are going to do the analysis of the balance sheet. Okay sir, now in that capital account we need to check that any income, any other income on which GST is paid or not. Suppose net profit is there, agriculture income is there, sir, GST shall be payable on that agriculture income or not? This is the question. If that agriculture income is from cultivation of land, in that case there is no GST applicability. But if the particular taxpayer is going to supply the agricultural produce, there is no cultivation of land, in that case GST should be payable. So we need to analyze the things that this agriculture income is on which account. Okay, we need to check the same. Or any other income is there, in that case we also need to check the same, that GST is paid on that particular income or not. But for that agriculture income we need to check that the income is on account of cultivation or land or not. Okay sir, now there are certain annexures are there for our analysis purposes. Fixed assets chart you got, and if there is no any addition, no any relation, in that case there is no question raised on account of that fixed assets chart. Okay, from that 30 creditors 30 debtors list you got the idea about the parties, that कोई fake party तो यहाँ पे involve नहीं है. अगर कोई fake party है, in that case there are chances of paper transactions in that taxpayer also. We can analyze the same by analyzing the financial statement. Okay sir, now next entity we are going to take, next financial statement we are going to take. If you have any issue, chat box is there, you can raise the questions in the chat box. Sir, next trading account for the financial year ending on 31st March 2023. Now I am going to discuss the things which is different in nature. Okay. Sir, in that particular case, last year sales was 28 crore. Current year sales is 40 crore. Okay. In that case, we need to check that last year purchase was 27, current year purchase is 43. That means there is an increase in purchase also, and there is increase in sales also. In that case we just need to ask the reason from the taxpayer, that's all, why there is a increase in the sales and purchases, because ratio is matching, so there is no question of that particular type. Okay, but margin is okay, but we need to ask the question that why there is a huge difference between the sales from the last year and in the current year. Sir, there is a freight of 37 lakh rupees. In that case, we are going to check the same, that RCM is paid by that taxpayer or not. We are going to compare the same from the consolidated GSTR 3B return. Next, sir, unloading expenditure. We need to check that unloading expenditure is of registered person or unregistered person. Although section 9 subsection 4 is not applicable. Okay, so अगर कोई unregistered expenditure भी है और 5000 से ऊपर है तो RCM की liability तो नहीं आती है, but we need to check the GST claim or not on that particular term. Next, audit fees, sir, we can check from legal audit point of view. Bank charges is okay. Go down, rent, power and fuel, interest paid to others, printing and stationery, salary and wages pay, no GST. Repair and maintenance, we are going to check the ledger, that the repair and maintenance, if the repair and maintenance is on account of the vehicles, in that case input is not allowed it. But the repair and maintenance is for plant and machinery, in that case input tax credit is allowed it. Traveling expenditure, water expenditure, conveyance expenditure, other expenditure, we need to check the nature. For other insurance, we need to check that the nature of insurance, the insurance is of general nature or the insurance is of marine stock insurance. In that case, the nature of insurance is of general nature, input tax rate is not allowed it. We need to check that the input is reversed or not. Discount paid, depreciation, net profit. Discount received, we need to check that the discount is the financial discount or that is our trade discount. राउंडिंग ऑफ की इनकम यहाँ पर बुक होती है 2094 की. we got the idea from the sales that sales is around, in that particular case sales is around 40 crore rupees. So 2000 rounding off is okay, there is no issue with that, we are not going to raise any question on that. Interest on account of FDR is okay, there is no issue with that. Any other income is there, we need to check the nature of that any other income, although the amount is very less, but we need to check the nature of that any other income. And if we found the significant nature that GST should be applicable on that income, then in that case we are going to raise the demand. Okay sir, so जितनी टर्म्स होगी फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में उतने ही ज्यादा चांसेस है कुछ रेवेन्यू लीकेज यहाँ पर निकल करके सामने आने के. Then balance sheet part के अंदर we had already discussed, we are going to check the GST receivable part and sundry creditors part, age wise sundry creditors we are going to check, and if there is any loan in that case we are going to check the sales differences. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है कि sales का difference केवल उस loan के लिए था, we are going to check the same. Okay sir, and capital account we are going to check that if there is any इनकम इज देयर और नॉट. जैसे यहाँ पर है बाय फर्म ट्रांसफर एंट्रीज, इन दैट केस वी नीड टू चेक दैट व्हाट इज द नेचर ऑफ दिस टाइप ऑफ इनकम, व्हाट इज द नेचर ऑफ दिस टाइप ऑफ टर्म, वी नीड टू डिस्कस विद द पार्टी एंड रिलेवेंट लेजर वी नीड टू चेक. कहीं कोई पर्सनल नेचर की इनकम उन्होंने कैपिटल अकाउंट में तो नहीं डाल दी है जिसके ऊपर जीएसटी लगना चाहिए था, सो वी आर गोइंग टू चेक द सेम बाय एनालिसिस ऑफ द कैपिटल अकाउंट. ओके सर, now there are certain annexures available, so and the fixed asset chart is also available. In that particular case also there is no addition, no sales in that financial statement fixed assets chart, so there is no significant issue for us in that particular case. Sir, next financial statement we are going to discuss, and next financial statement is of manufacturing entity. Next financial statement is of manufacturing entity. In that particular entity there is certain manufacturing account is also available, trading account is also available, and profit and loss account is also available. So we are going to analyze the manufacturing, trading, and profit and loss account. Okay sir, so in that particular case, buying of color chemical, power and fuel, screen design, process charges. So sir, this entity is of textile manufacturer, this entity is of textile manufacturer. So in that particular case, this entity is of textile manufacturer, so in that particular case, now this entity is of textile manufacturer, and in case of textile manufacturer sales is at the rate of 5%. Okay, sales is at the rate of 5%, but your purchases at the rate of 18% and 28%. Okay, and 12% also in case of screen design, color chemical, and processing charges and all that. So for that purpose, by analyzing the manufacturing account, you got the idea sir, there is a chance of refund, an entity can claim the refund. So by checking the financial statement we got that idea that there is a case of refund, so we also going to check the calculation of refund. Okay, we also going to check the buying of that particular party, that buying is genuine or not, and each and everything is genuine or not, we are going to check the same. Okay sir, so carries inward manufacturing direct wages no GST, water and electricity no GST question. So by analyzing that manufacturing account we got that idea, we got that one idea only, that in case of this refund, the case is related to the refund is also we need to check the same. Okay sir, now when we are going to check the trading account, there is a process sales, in that case we need to check that GST has already paid on that process sales or not. Sales last year 14 crore, current year 19 crore. okay, there is no issue with that, because there is difference between opening stock is also available, so we cannot raise any question on that. Everything is like okay. In case of repair and maintenance, we need to check that what is the nature of this repair and maintenance. If this repair and maintenance is on nature of the plant and machinery, in that case input tax credit is allowed it. But if the repair and maintenance is on account of your that is vehicles, in that case input tax credit is not allowed it. We need to check the same. Factory expenditure, checking and folding expenditure, input tax credit is not allowed it, not an issue. Now next, sir, profit and loss account. In that profit and loss account, interest is there and normal interest is there 44 lakh. In that case, we need to check that this interest is on account of financial or is on account of trade. If the interest is on account of trade, in that case GST should be payable. And if the interest is on account of financial, in that case GST should not be payable. So how we can analyze? Sir, generate the ledger of that interest. Okay, and by generating the ledger, by analyzing that particular ledger, you got that idea that what type of interest you are getting from the debtors. And if you are getting the interest from the debtors, in that case GST should be payable on that. And if the interest is from the unsecured loan and all that, in that case GST should not be payable. For discount, sir, we need to do the exercise that discount is related to financial discount and a trade discount, that is terms as decided or not. So we need to check the documents at the business. Okay, merely उसने कह दिया कि सर हमने पहले ही डिसाइड कर लिया था, we are not going to agree with that. We need certain documentation. Okay, we need certain documentation, and this is also completely based on the nature of the particular business. Interest on FDR, there is no question of GST. Interest on IT refund, there is no question of GST. Any other income is 79 rupees, so we are not going to do. But if the amount is huge, in that case, we are going to do the analysis that what type of nature of this type of income is there. Next, sir, if I am going to talk about expenditure point of view, in that case, we need to check the expenditure, direct expenditure and indirect expenditure. Okay, sir. That is expenditure from registered person and expenditure from unregistered person. In case of registered person, input is allowed. Audit fees, सेम पॉइंट वी आर गोइंग टू चेक कहीं लीगल फीस को यहाँ मर्ज तो नहीं कर दिया है. बैंक चार्जेस ओके, कमीशन ऑन सेल्स इज ओके, कन्वेंस एक्सपेंस डिस्काउंट पेड, other insurance we are going to check that nature of insurance. Okay, printing and stationery, traveling, professional fees to others, we are going to check kahi whether the legal fees is included in that professional fees or not. We are going to check the same. Office expenditure, cartage, bank interest, donation, depreciation, everything is okay. Okay, sir. So we need to check the financial statement accordingly. So in case of manufacturing entity, we need to check the manufacturing account, trading account and profit and loss account for our analysis purposes. Now, sir, in case of analysis of balance sheet, GST receivable is also there. We are going to check that the 20 lakh is also available in the GSTR 3B return. Okay, now next. Kotak Mahindra OD Kotak Mahindra short term loan. So we are going to check that कहीं ये वाले loan लेने के लिए sales को boost तो नहीं किया है. We are going to check the same. Creditors is of rupees 2 crore and 22 lakh. In that case, we are going to take the age wise creditors list, and also we are going to check the ledger of the creditors. Okay, that कहीं payment 180 days से more due तो नहीं है, and if there is payment due more than 180 days, in that case we need to check the reversal of input tax credit also. Okay, sir. So GST payable as on 31st March. So we are going to check that the same has been paid, and we are going to confirm the same by checking the electronic cash ledger. Okay, sir. So this is the capital account, and in that particular case, that is in case of partnership firm, this is the case of partnership firm. Or in that case, if partners are receiving any income in his individual capacity, in that case there is no GST is applicable, but the income of partnership firm will be liable for GST. Now we need to check the annexure of the financial statement for checking the parties, that parties are genuine or not. Because in that list, while checking the list, if we found one single party related to fake invoicing, in that case we got the idea that there is nothing, there is something involved in this particular case. So we need to do more analysis, we need to do more emphasis on that particular case study. So sir, by analyzing these things, we are going to take the idea that how we are going to check the things, and how we need to analyze the things. Fixed assets chart, sir, there is an addition of 13,000 and 5,10,000 rupees in case of plant and machinery. Okay, in case of plant and machinery. So we need to check that the depreciation is claimed only on the taxable value, not on the GSTN figure. And if the depreciation is claimed on GST figure also, in that case, we need to check that the credit has not been claimed, input tax credit has not been claimed by the party. That is what is the things we need to check in case of addition to the fixed assets. Okay, sir. Schedule for loans, deposit and advances is not more relevant for us. We are not going to check the same. Sunday debtors, we are going to check the parties. There is no ungenuine parties available. All the parties are genuine. We are going to check the analysis on debtors and creditors. Sir, by analyzing the debtors and creditors, our target is to just verify the parties. Okay. क्रेडिटर्स के लिए तो हम ये भी देखते हैं कि विद इन 180 डेज में पेमेंट हुआ है या फिर नहीं हुआ है. वी आर गोइंग टू चेक द सेम. बट इन केस ऑफ But in case of our debtors and all other annexures, we are just going to check the genuineness of the party. Sir, confirm in the chat box that manufacturing entity is okay for you. I am not going to take any type of break in between the session. We are continuing the session just 15 to 20 minutes more. We are going to discuss two or three financial statements so that it will be more convenient for us. And if you have any question regarding the discussion, you may raise the question in the chat box. The chat box is there. Sir, everything is okay for you regarding the manufacturing and all other entities which we had discussed earlier or related to the 28-point sheet, that is analysis of financial statement, okay for you or not, sir? Just comment in the chat box fastly so that we can take the next point. सर बोरिंग तो नहीं हो रहा है ना? सेशन इंटरेस्टिंग है? यू आर गेटिंग द थिंग्स? Just comment in the chat box that you are getting the things and everything is okay and this session is useful for you or not. If you have any question, you are free to raise the questions in the chat box. And yes, we are going to discuss on unsecured loan also, not an issue. If you have any point, you are free to raise the questions in the chat box. But first confirm me that जो भी हम लोगों ने discuss किया है, everything is okay for you. Sir, unsecured loan means I am doing the business and suppose I have certain requirement of funds. Okay, so I had taken the money. Suppose 5 crore rupees from certain persons, Mr. X, Y, Z, and all that. Okay. And I am not going to secure any type of property. I am not going to provide any type of property to XYZ for that particular amount. Okay. This type of loan called as unsecured loan. As I had taken the loan from the various entities, I need to pay the interest. Okay, I need to pay the interest. And if I am going to pay the interest, counterparty is going to receive the interest. And this interest is on account of money. And we can say that money is not considered as supply. Hence, this interest is completely on account of that money. So there is no GST, no supply of that particular interest, which is related to financial interest. इसीलिए इस इंटरेस्ट को वी कैन डिवाइड इनटू टू पार्ट्स, फाइनेंशियल इंटरेस्ट एंड ट्रेड इंटरेस्ट. देयर इज नो जीएसटी ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ फाइनेंशियल इंटरेस्ट एंड देयर इज जीएसटी ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ ट्रेड इंटरेस्ट. सो if there is any interest income on account of that unsecured loan, in that case GST should not be payable on that, because the unsecured loan you are getting the interest only on account of money, not on account of any your business services. So GST should not be applicable. Is that okay, Sujit ji? Unsecured loan is okay for you? Sujit ji, just comment that the concept regarding unsecured loan is okay for you. Now, next entity for which we are going to do the analysis of financial statement. In that case, also this entity is of manufacturing entity. Now, purchases is there, royalty. Sir, in case of royalty, reverse charge mechanism is applicable. So we need to check that on that royalty expenditure, tax is already paid by the taxpayer on reverse charge basis, RCM basis pay. So we need to analyze the things that RCM, complete RCM is paid by that particular taxpayer or not. We need to discuss on that. Repair of machinery. So in case of machinery repair, GST. In case of repair of machinery, GST will be available. So party can claim the input tax credit on that machinery. Road construction expenditure, subcontract expenditure, there is no issue with that. Now, sir, sales of goods 75 lakh 75,201 and works contract receipt are there. This is the specific case study related to construction contractor. In that case, ESI, PF, there is no issue with that. Diesel, GST not applicable. Other expenditure, we need to check that what is the nature of other expenditure, and these expenditure is on account of registered person or unregistered person. We need to check the same. So how we are going to discuss we are going to analyze the financial statement of a construction contract. Okay sir. Now profit and loss account के अंदर there is a income of interest on SB, no question on that. Discount, if the discount is related to financial, in that case no GST. If the discount is related to trade in nature, in that case GST will be applicable. NSC रिसीव्ड, जो नेशनल सेविंग सर्टिफिकेट होते हैं उसके ऊपर इंटरेस्ट मिला है, दैट इज ऑल्सो अ फाइनेंशियल पार्ट, दैट इज ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ दैट सर्टिफिकेट, सो जीएसटी वुड नॉट बी लेविएबल ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर केस. Sir, professional fees, we need to check the ledger that the professional fees is related to which nature. Then after repair and maintenance, so we know if the repair and maintenance is of the nature of the repair to machinery, in that case input tax credit is allowed it. But if the repair is related to vehicles, in that case input tax credit is not allowed it. Suppose in case of construction, repair is on for the JCB. So JCB should not be treated as vehicle. JCB should be treated as the machinery for that particular business, and input tax rate on account of that repair of that JCB is allowed in that particular case. Okay, sir. Advertisement expenditure, if there is any input tax rate is there, in that case, you can claim the ITC. But suppose there is a sales promotion, you are going to provide the free sample, in that case input tax credit is not allowed it. So we need to check the same. Expenditure में आप बुक कर सकते हो, but कहीं उसने advertisement को, कहीं taxpayer has not added the sample expenditure or the gift into the advertisement expenditure, we need to check the same. If there is a single bill of that expenditure head by a particular entity, particular advertisement agency, in that case ITC is allowed it. But if the advertisement is of free sample gift, in that case ITC is not allowed it. We need to check the same. Tender fees and depreciation rounding off is okay. So this is the basic financial statement. We need to check the things accordingly. Now sir, in case of balance sheet, we are going to check the GST figure. We are going to check the sundry creditors around 2 crore and 93 lakh. In that case, we need to check that last year the creditors was 2 crore and 96. Current year is 2 crore and 93. That means there is a chances that कोई creditor है जो 180 days से ज़्यादा खड़ा होना मिल जाए. So we are going to take the list of age-wise creditors, and also we are going to take the creditors ledger from the party. Okay. Unsecured loan is there and other provisions is also there that are not important part for us. So these are the two important points from the balance sheet part of view. We are going to check the same for our analysis purposes. ओके सर. नाउ कैपिटल अकाउंट इज देयर. कैपिटल अकाउंट के केस में सेम एग्रीकल्चर इनकम इज देयर. इन दैट केस वी नीड टू चेक दैट द एग्रीकल्चर इनकम इज ऑफ कल्टीवेशन ऑफ लैंड और नॉट. इफ द एग्रीकल्चर इनकम इज ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ कल्टीवेशन ऑफ लैंड, इन दैट केस देयर इज नो जीएसटी. बट इफ द इनकम इज ऑफ एनी अदर नेचर और ड्यू टू सेल ऑफ द प्रोड्यूस, in that case GST should be applicable. We need to check the same. And when we are going to take the addition term, in that case we need to check the nature of that addition. कहीं उस addition पे GST लगना तो नहीं चाहिए, कहीं वो addition कोई income ही तो नहीं है. We are going to check the same by the ledgers, because कई बार क्या होता है, personal income की nature को we are going to cover in the capital account, or during the GST audit we are not going to check the capital account. एंड मल्टीपल टाइम कुछ चीजें स्किप हो जाती है. सो वी कैन डू दिस टाइप ऑफ एक्सरसाइज एंड वी कैन फाइंड आउट रेवेन्यू लीकेजेस बाय एनालाइजिंग द कैपिटल अकाउंट. ओके सर. After that, for study of that list of creditors, we are going to take the age wise creditors and also we are going to check the ledger of the creditors for finding there is a delay in payment. Fixed assets chart we are going to check, and in that particular case there is no addition or no sales. So now camera is purchased in that particular case for 24,136. We are going to check input tax credit related to that camera. If the camera is using in that business, in that case input tax credit is allowed, and we need to check that the depreciation has not been claimed on the ITC part. Also, there is a purchase of farmhouse for 3,80,000 rupees. In that case, there is no GST is available on that land purchase. Now, next, sir, one balance sheet is there regarding the company. Okay, we are going to analyze the company financial also in that particular case. This is our last financial statement on which we are going to do the analysis. Okay. Share capital is not an important issue from GST perspective. Reserve and surplus is also okay. Long-term liabilities, other borrowing, default, short-term trade, other current liabilities, we need to check the same if there is any GST payable. In that case, we need to check the GST and portal that the same has been paid in that by electronic cash ledger or not. Okay. Now, property, plant and equipment that is related to your fixed assets, we need to check if there is any addition fixed assets. Also, there is a chart of fixed assets. We are also going to discuss on that fixed assets chart also, but we need to check the same by this thing that the last year it was 183 and currently it is 326. That means there is a addition. So we need to check that input is claimed accordingly or not. Okay. Inventory, we are going, last year inventory was 83, current year inventory is 196. We need to check why there is huge increase in that particular inventory. What is the reason for that? Okay, so we need to analyze the things. Sir, revenue from operations is 5369. We are going to check the same from the GSTR 3B return, reconcile the same income, and other income is also added, and we need to check that the GST has already been paid on that other income or not. Okay, sir. Now, last year buying was 25, current year buying is 45. Okay, in that case we are going to check the sales. Also there is an increase in sales, and with that there is increase in purchase. That means ratio wise the situation is okay. We just going to ask the question from the taxpayer that, sir, why there is huge increase in your sales as well as in your purchase? What is the reason for that? Okay, so by that we are going to analyze the situation. Now annexures are there. Annexures are not so much relevant for us in case of companies also. So GST payable is there as other current liabilities. We had already discussed. In that case, we are going to the GSTN portal and we are going to check that the same has been paid through electronic cash ledger or not. Okay, sir. Now, expenditure are also there, books and periodicals, consultancy charges. For that consultancy charges, we are going to check that any legal expenditure is not there. Conveyance expense, courier and postage, legal professional. कई बार क्या करते हैं, conveyance expense के अंदर freight को डाल देते हैं. So we are going to check the conveyance expense also, that no any freight entry has been posted in that conveyance expense. We are going to check the same. Okay, sir. Insurance expense, we are going to check the nature of that insurance, that general insurance or marine or stock insurance. That advertisement expenditure, we are going to check if the advertisement expenditure on account of any free sample or gift, in that case ITC on that advertisement is not allowed. It we had already discussed on that. Repair and maintenance expenditure, we are going to check the same. Okay, next, loss on sale of fixed assets and return of, sir, if you found any loss on sale of fixed assets, in that case we need to check the calculation that actual में there are loss or not. Because अगर वो कार सेल करेगा और अगर वो लॉस बुक कर रहा है, in that case he is not going to pay any type of GST. Okay, in that case we need to check that actual में वहां पर लॉस है या फिर नहीं है, या फिर कोई प्लानिंग करके लॉस बुक किया है for not paying the GST amount on the sale of that particular vehicle. Okay, sir. So we need to check the same. Because available facts. Now, sir, interest income, in that case we are going to check that the interest income is related to financial interest or trade interest. Sir, all those things we had already discussed, we had already covered everything in our 28 point analysis. Now I am just going to take the 5 to 7 financial statement for your concept clarity, for your clarity of your concept, that sir जो हमने देखा है, जो हमने रीड आउट किया है, जो आज हमने समझा है, वो सारी चीजें प्रैक्टिकली एप्लीकेबल हो रही है. प्रैक्टिकली हम लोग फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में वी आर गोइंग टू चेक द सेम. ओके, नाउ there is sale of fixed assets is also there. In that case we need to check that on that particular sale GST is paid or not. On that particular sale we need to check the same. If the particular entity is engaged in the taxable as well as exempted supply, in that case we need to take reference of rule number 40T and 43 also for regarding reversal of input tax credit for that particular purposes, and separate video is also available on my YouTube channel. Okay sir, so these are certain terms in that particular financial statement which is very much relevant for us. Okay, sir. So in our today's session, conclusively, I can say we had covered each and everything from the analysis of financial statement. Also, we had covered 7 to 8 type of financial statements for the practical applicability. Sir, conclusively, if I am saying you need to reconcile the sales figure, you need to check the value of supply, you need to take the time of supply, you need to check the place of supply. Also you need to check the RCM applicability. Also you need to check that if any ineligible input tax credit, कहीं उसने वो input tax credit claim तो नहीं कर ली है. So sir, as per my thought, we had covered each and everything related to the analysis of financial statement. If you have any question regarding the analysis of financial statement, chat box is open. You can just put the questions in the chat box. I am here to reply for your questions, sir. If you have any question, provide your questions. And I think we had covered each and everything related to the analysis of financial statement. Sir, I need your questions and I need your comments. If you want to discuss on a very any specific point of that financial statement, you can raise the same in the chat box. Sir, waiting for your questions. If you have any question, you can raise the same in the chat box. If there is no question available, then I am going to sign off for today. So, okay, sir. Suppose in a construction contractor or any other entity, in that financial statement, if you got WIP, that is a work in progress. Okay. In that case, we need to check the last year financial statement. Okay. Suppose last year the entity has booked the WIP as 15 lakh rupees. Sir, first, my point is that what do you mean by that work in progress? That means you had done that work but billing is pending. That is called as your WIP. On that particular part, you had done the work but the billing is pending. Suppose last year on 31st March, the entity has booked the entity has booked the 15 lakh rupees WIP, and you are when you are going to check the bank statement of April, May and June, in these 3 months the entity has got around uh, 20 lakh rupees or 25 lakh rupees in the financial statement. In that case, the WIP which is mentioned in the last financial year was wrong. Because ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है कि जब आपने बोला कि मेरा WIP 15 लाख है और नेक्स्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर के बिगनिंग 1 to 2 मंथ के अंदर आपको उस WIP का पेमेंट आ जाना चाहिए, बिकॉज यू हैड ऑलरेडी डन द वर्क बट द बिलिंग इज पेंडिंग। ओके, इन दैट केस पेमेंट शुड बी इक्वल टू 15 लाख और इन इसके आसपास होना चाहिए। पेमेंट शुड बी in around of that 15 lakh rupees, 16 lakh rupees or 14 lakh rupees. Not it will be a 20 lakh rupees or 25 lakh rupees. That means you had wrongly mentioned the WIP. That means you are going to produce the wrong data. Okay, because WIP अगर आप show कर रहे हो, that means you had paid the tax in that particular year. Okay, in that case we need to verify the same. Suppose you are going to do the financial audit of financial year 2021. In that case you need to check that in next financial year till June or July, all the amount which had already reflected in the work in progress, you got the same in the bank. Okay, अगर वहां पर बैंक के अंदर वो वाला फिगर नहीं आया, दैट मीन्स आपने रॉन्ग वहां पर WIP डिक्लेयर किया है। दैट मीन्स आपके जो फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट है उससे आपके सेल्स और परचेजेस वहां पर इफेक्ट हो जाएंगे। Okay, sir. So in case of WIP work in progress, you just need to check that, sir, there is a payment in next financial year till April, May and June. The entity has got that payment or not. Is that okay? Virat ji, is that okay? In case of WIP, you are going to check the same, that the figure is already received in the next financial year till April, May and June. Maximum time is your June, because you work has already done, just the billing is pending in case of WIP work in progress. So Virat ji, is that okay? Virat ji, you got my point? Then please confirm in the chat box. If anyone has any other issue, then please comment in the chat box so that we can discuss on that. And if you have no question, then if you have any question later on, in that case WhatsApp group is also there. You can put the queries in the WhatsApp group. I am also here in that WhatsApp group, and I will provide you the solution. I will solve your doubt in that WhatsApp group, or you can connect with me or call also. Not an issue in that also. So, sir, can we sign off for today? If you have no query, then can we sign off for today? Just comment in the chat box. And if you have no any query, then can we sign off for today's session? Just comment in the chat box so that I can sign off for today. Okay, sir. So I'm finding no any query in the chat box. If you later on, if you found any query, you can connect with me over WhatsApp and over call, not an issue. So thank you for the patience learning, and मिलते हैं और किसी next elaborate depreciation on fixed assets and ITC related to it. Yes, yes, we'll share you the recording link of recording of the session on your WhatsApp group. Okay, by today evening, we'll share you the recording link. Sir, depreciation. Suppose I bought in a plant and machinery. Suppose I bought in a plant and machinery for 5 lakh rupees. In case of fixed assets. Okay. So what you need to verify? Suppose 5 lakh rupees is the plant and machinery that is taxable value and GST figure is 50,000 rupees. Complete value is 5 lakh 50,000 rupees. That means you got the banking transaction for 5 lakh 50,000 rupees. In that particular case, you just need to check that the taxpayer has claimed 50,000 rupees ITC. Okay, and depreciation is claimed only on that taxable value. And if he is going to claim the depreciation on that complete 5 lakh 50,000 rupees, in that case, input tax credit of 50,000 is not allowed. This is the primary thing which we need to check in case of fixed assets. Okay, sir. If he has claimed the input tax credit, then on that input tax credit, GST should not be allowed. If he has not claimed the input tax credit, in that case, on that complete 5 lakh 50,000 rupees, depreciation is allowed. One thing अपने दिमाग में रखनी है कि आप अलग अलग एक्ट के अंदर बेनिफिट नहीं ले सकते हो. यू कैन टेक द बेनिफिट ऑफ वन थिंग इन वन एक्ट ओनली. If you are going to claim the input tax credit also and you are going to claim the depreciation on that ITC also under income tax act, तो ये सही नहीं होगा. For that purpose this rules is there. Okay, as per section 16 subsection 2 का proviso ये बोलता है. So we need to take care of it. Okay, Anuradha ji, is that okay regarding depreciation on fixed assets and input tax credit on that? Anuradha ji, you got my point? Recording will be available by today evening. We'll share you the recording. And also one more request to you, please provide your feedback for the session in the WhatsApp group. Your feedback plays a very important role in updation in the next session. Okay, if you found any issue in that particular session, you can comment. If the feedbacks are positive, you can put the same in the WhatsApp group. If any suggestion is also there, also all the suggestions you should put in the WhatsApp group. This is the great reward for me. So I just request you all that whatever will be your suggestions, whatever will be your feedback for this session, you can comment in the WhatsApp group. It will be more it will provide me more energy. Okay, so thank you to all, and I am going to sign off for today's. मिलते हैं next session में. Thank you sir, thank you for the patience learning. If you have any question, WhatsApp group is there. You